I see you. Let's go lah. Kabur kan. Lag teruk. Sana lag. Sana memang lag teruk guys kalau macam ni.
Mereka berjaya
bukan salah aku guys. Bukan salah aku guys.
Ahli pasukan Nabi Malaysia dan juga dengan penyambulan tentera yang kedua. Kita boleh katakan tadi Gamilator berjaya untuk mendapatkan kemenangan yang jauh lebih besar.
Hey guys, korang sokong Navi MY ke game gaming gladiator guys? Ha? Cuba korang bagi tahu aku sekarang.
Katakan di bahagian side lane, tapi sabar sebentar, Arya masih lagi menjadi target utama. Ada apa dengan Arya ni? Navi Malaysia daripada tadi.
Navi MY lah. Let's go lah Rina. Navi MY. Dia macam sokong dua-dua tau sekarang ni. Ush. Gaming gladiator negara mana? Negara mana guys? Gaming gladiator? Tak ingat lah, tapi itulah. Kalau korang nak tahu, ada Arya yang bermain EXP lane. Arya bermain EXP US. Oh US. US guys. Suara caster kuat tak? Oh half jeng. Okay nice kan. Korang nak tengok suara caster Malay ke suara English lah guys? Sebab kalau tengok dekat English kan, tak silap aku, Arya dari roam ke EXP. Lah Arya Roma lah. Yelah, Arya pernah tak gambar dengan aku tu. Suara caster slow ke kuat guys? Slow Korang nak dengar suara caster English ke Malay guys? Sebab kalau Malay tak silap aku, kualiti dia beza lah dengan English. Kita tengok je kita compare
melakukan pergerakan overextend dan kemudian didenda semula, dan perkara ini perlu dielakkan actually. Conceal tapi disedari oleh Raymond.
Tak kenapa. Tak kenapa kualiti dia macam ni tu. Peperangan di sini guys. Arya. Alamak Rina terlalu lambat. Rina masuk. Rina. Hisham, Onit dah main ke belum? Okey ni. Hisham, bukan British Pro dah menang ke wildcard? Ya. Memang dah menang. Ini bukan wildcard. Guys. Ini adalah MWI guys. Ya. Ini bukan EWC X MSC. Ini bukan MSC guys. Ini MWI. MWI stands for apa? Women Invitation Club. Apa nama penuh dia? Aku lupa tu. Sekejap guys. Aku tahu tau pasal ni. MWI stands for apa tu? Mari kita info sikit. MLBB Women Invitational. Nama dia guys. MWI. Suara caster slow. Nak kuat lagi. Berjaya untuk melaksanakan serba sedikit stun, tapi Arya mencari. Arya mengecewakan tu. Aku punya ni alert tu. Dikeluarkan oleh Sayori dengan cukup besar. Walaupun adanya curtain call yang dikeluarkan oleh Shah, tetapi pemain-pemain Gaming Gladiators masih lagi berada di kawasan river ini. Tidak ingin melepaskan boost yang cukup penting untuk mengawal kedudukan sungai supaya lot tidak diambil oleh Navi semudah itu. Tapi kalah daripada sudut jumlah, ini masih lagi memenangkan Navi Malaysia mempunyai 600. Arya import ke? Arya import guys. Arya daripada ni guys, daripada Malai tau import. So kita sekarang ni tengah pening ni nak sokong negara mana ni? Hanyalah akan reset semula lot ini untuk kali. Kalau korang sokong mana guys? Masih lagi meninjau, masih lagi menantikan, tapi final clash. Hai Nina. Oh, peperangan di situ. Hani yang dicari Hani. Oish. Arya lagi. Cukup mengejutkan. Aduh, Arya alot. Menang tu Navi MY. No. Papau. Fafau. Baik. Navi MWI menang guys. Navi MWI menang kalau macam ni. Sokong Arya je. Tak, aku sokong Arya je guys daripada Gaming Gladiators. Macam mana?
Yang sudah berkembangkan oleh Gaming Gladiators sebentar.
Bisa-bisa doh Navi MWI. Bisa-bisa doh.
Sekelip mata terus sahaja melonjakkan perbezaan.
Oh gila guys, kita punya atlet Malaysia bisa-bisa dah.
Ini pastinya membenarkan Navi Malaysia sedang memegang momentum apabila kita memasuki kepada fasa.
Maknanya kita punya player memang jago lah guys. Kita tak perlu kita tak perlu pun import lokal ni. Hani.
Fafau, gol lainnya 2 kill kosong bertahan dan juga 3.
Tapi siapa tu yang jago Selina tu Hani Hani
walaupun menjadi target utama untuk digagalkan
Remune. Oh, Roma Malaysia sekarang dia immune. Dulu Arya guys.
Ini seakan-akan mudah didenda semua.
Remune tu import. Oh, Remune tu apa? Indo
Formasi mereka pecah.
Hani tu Selina dia. Tak, sumpah jago doh aku tengok. Aku tengok Hani super jago, tak tipu lah. Like real lah.
Pergerakan Rina di kawasan
Alamak, Indo ke?
untuk melakukan set up.
Nak Dendi ke jam? Dendi. Woi, satu baju kat sini.
Gerakan untuk masuk.
Satu baju kat sini, aku nak main patch ni. Pucu G.
Serangan secara serentak. Arya agak sedikit buntu di kawasan tengah. Mengapa masih lagi berada di situ?
Mati dua Arya.
Pertahanan di kawasan tengah ini mungkin
Arya 1v5 ke?
Arya cukup boleh untuk kita persoalkan sebenarnya. Menara
Arya, awak macam ni tau, jual game tau. Arya, janganlah nampak sangat kan macam tu. Nampak macam jual game kan. Tiba-tiba defense seorang-seorang.
Ini tertarik sekarang ini nampak seperti jelas terbuka untuk pasukan Navi pecahkan. Satu traction pass berjaya.
Oh, nice. Aduh.
Berjaya untuk
Gila Rina weh. Nah, rata maniac. Allahu Akbar, kena KS.
Menumbangkan Nikolat. Arya kembali ke dalam permainan.
Oi, kalau tak savage tu ni.
Terus saja masuk untuk memberikan satu penamat, tetapi Arya cuba untuk menghalang, namun Arya tetap akan dikorbankan oleh rakan senegara beliau, Navi Malaysia.
Nice one. Good game Malaysia, nice.
Dengan 11 minit 46 saat
Kick doh.
diperlukan oleh Navi Malaysia.
Tak apalah.
Kemenangan.
Dia first game baru guys. Tapi mainnya depan-depan boleh taunting terus doh.
Yang agak hebat pada permulaan ni kita boleh katakan agak
kalau main daripada depan macam dia boleh taunting terus kan guys.
Namun begitu apabila Wina
habis je game terus.
Woi.
Telah
pun mendapatkan
sini lah, by one. Macam tu. Kalau lepas savage kan, bangun. Bangun terus pergi taunting macam Dendi di depan. Ni nak ya.
Mencari target-target yang
habis dulu kalau Chibi main, kalau kita orang punya setup meja macam ni, dilarang menentang Famos tau.
Tak mampu sebagai seorang
Hai.
mengeluarkan damage output.
I see you. Jadi bocil ke macam dia? Jadi bocil. Bahaya. Ni kalau depan-depan ni bahaya guys. Jangan buat lelaki macam ni Lelaki jangan buat setup meja macam ni. Habis guys. Silap-silap tengah main Mobile Legend, botol sampai tau guys. Ni aku pegang botol air ni sampai guys. Sram, headshot. Nasib baik Nasib baik orang tahu yang Vamos tak masuk.
Menutup jalan yang dilalui oleh Rina dan juga Papa.
Tengok sikit. Ni aku tak tengok lagi ni. Ush, nice ni Arya. Ush. Aduh. Wah, Arya banyak second skill miss
Dia lebih memberikan tumpuan juga untuk memberikan serangan-serangan mengejut seperti di kawasan ini. Bagaimana
ya?
Dekat kawasan ni tapi bukan waktu ni. Oh, inilah yang kita dapat tengok.
Wah.
Ini yang Rina kita dapat melihatkan
ngam-ngam pula BTK dengan Vamos tak masuk. Ya. Ui, kalau BTK X Vamos hari tu menentang. Ush. Dah bukan main Mobile Legend doh.
Ini bahagian belakang. Itu yang memberikan tekanan kepada Sayuri. Itu yang memberikan
Beyond Combat doh terus.
Jadi
dekat situ.
Tak boleh.
Aku akan lawan Mobazin lah guys. Aku akan ambil Mobazin lah.
Untuk membantu pasukan.
Walaupun dia tinggi lampai, besar macam giant, aku akan ambil juga dia. Aku akan call out Mobazin kat situ.
Kedua-dua pasukan secara jujur.
Berapa dah, jangan pala aku. Baru first game. Baru first game. Ada banyak technical issue guys. Guys, by the way, punch card dulu guys. Yang baru masuk punch card dulu, like dulu. Suara caster okey ke? Sekejap aku nak dengar
Ditamatkan dengan sangat-sangat pantas apabila ada kesilapan yang berlaku. Lebih lagi daripada sudut pertahanan tadi. Patutnya kalau betul lah Arya memang dah tak boleh diselamatkan, mereka seharusnya cuba untuk mempertahankan bahagian bawah itu. Tidak boleh membiarkan letupan whole defense itu dibazirkan begitu saja. Atas letup dengan mudah, bawah letup dengan mudah, membuatkan mereka tidak mampu untuk melakukan pertahanan dengan senang. Sebab whole defense sekarang sangat-sangat penting untuk dipertahankan. Kalau mereka menggunakannya terlalu awal, ini akan menjadi sebuah pembaziran. Dan itu yang berlaku sebentar tadi. Mereka menggunakan whole defense dengan terlalu awal, membuatkan serangan daripada pasukan Navi jauh lebih mudah untuk menembusi ini turret dan sejurus menamatkan permainan.
Oh, caster kena kuat sikit guys.
Sebabkan hero yang dimiliki oleh mereka juga
Okay, macam ni.
boleh katakan bukanlah hero yang berunsurkan kemampuan untuk melakukan clearance wave yang tertinggi. Ia adanya alot untuk melaksanakan partner slash, tetapi area seperti tadi dah pun dikorbankan. Adanya Kimi bersama dengan kita untuk membantu melakukan clearance wave.
Okay, nice. Ni mantap ah.
Tapi kalau contoh nak dibandingkan dengan pasar,
Tak melawan Syam Arya.
dia menghalau orang daripada membantu melaksanakan clearance wave seperti tadi. Itu juga
belum lawan sepadan lagi guys. Navi belum jumpa lawan sepadan lagi. Kejap lagi kita tengok ah. Tunggu Navi lawan kuat-kuat lu. Aku rasa gaming gladiator ni biasa lah, level-level biasa dulu. Stream sampai malam ke? Stream sampai habis MWI guys. EWC tim besar bila Syam? 23.
Ya,
Kalau yang EWC tim besar tu kan, korang panggil dia sebagai MAC guys.
kembali
MAC Mobile Legend kan?
untuk memperbaiki
MAC Mobile Legend pula. MAC kita kan yang version lelaki akan start 23 hari bulan. Ini MWI guys. Kita MAC. EWC tu stand for Esport World Cup. So EWC ni semua. EWC ni MWI, MAC semua EWC. Tapi kalau spesifiknya macam MWI,
cukup sulit sebenarnya dengan
lama lagi ke? Sekejap je ni. Diorang pun duduk je atas meja tu. Macam masal kau tak join MWI? Alah aku join. Aku rasa aku dah angkat piala international lah Taufik. Mana piala aku? Gitu.
Untuk pasukan Gaimin Gladiators pula, bagi saya
Jelas season lepas Steve Amos atau next team. Osh, berkenaan season lepas saya tak boleh nak beritahu dalam live lah guys. Sebab clipper ramai. So kalau korang nak tahu, korang bayar RM1,000, kita WhatsApp lah.
Mungkin lebih cemerlang untuk dimainkan. Tapi mereka menggunakan Kimi dan juga
Nice.
yang mana seharusnya Kalia ini dia ada kelebihan yang besar, iaitu boleh bermain dengan fleksibel. Kalau nak main pick up pun boleh, tak main pick up pun boleh saja sebenarnya untuk Kalia. Untuk menambahkan crowd control demi area yang menggunakan
Aku nak tengok
bermain dengan
apa beza
lama dalam team fight,
kualiti kita dengan kualiti stream English.
Vengeance untuk digunakan oleh Ashley dalam game sebentar tadi.
Bagi pendapat saya, selain daripada itu juga boleh saja menjadi babysitter di bahagian belakang, melindungi Sayuri dan juga melindungi Panda sebentar tadi. Disebabkan antara masalah terbesar mereka adalah
boleh je bang Malaysia. Ni
And the fact of the matter is, for
ni lagi best tu. Asal dengan caster bercakap je siap.
Well, Reno only came in at the last minute. You have Fafao only coming in at the last minute. But for GG, they're throwing everything onto the three members.
Asal dekat Malaysia macam bosan guys. Tak ada apa-apa.
Any of the classes.
Ini lagi best.
Take a look at this. Sariori goes
tengok English aja view. Aku rasa tengok English lah guys. Tengok Malaysia, tengok muka Sunfrost tu.
There's no means of escape.
Yeah.
Tengok Malaysia tadi, tengok muka Sunfrost je tadi.
Yeah. Just look at how awkward. Literally, look at how awkward they're standing back there.
Nah,
what do
gitu.
we do? Do we enter? Do we back off?
Tengok ni lah. Kita layak English je guys.
Happening over the heads of GG, and as the game kept going, they kept trying to do the same
Quality
thing,
pun better sikit kan.
forcefully attempting something different, which wasn't necessarily something they were prepared for.
If y'all were to name an MVP, like just off the top, who would it be? Navi MY. I'm gonna.
I think either Rena or
baik.
Okay. I'd say Trina.
You said Rena?
Tengok Indo pula jam. Indo pun mantap main ni. Macam ni kat
Because Rena
Indo
gave
mana
her
ada
that
macam ni
space.
sama kak.
Rena was hunting
Tak
down
nak.
Sayori. Rena was
Baik kita tengok ni.
compromising Ashley's
English
entry
guys
because
baru macam ada rasa
just in the
kita berada
highlights,
dekat situ.
twice now you saw Ashley overextend, try to get somebody good, but it always just ends up being Raymond. And Raymond was doing her job well, just like, just get me.
Pull out all the resources, taunting even
Yep.
more, and then the last second,
AOG out of here.
I think
Genius.
many members of Navi were honestly doing a good job. Raymond was great. You know, Gatot is specifically very good for these situations. You get caught, you AOG out. I would give it to Rina, but there were
So
actually
kenapa
some
EWC
landslide
ni
plays in the first
pentas
few
dia
minutes
kecil
that I
sikit?
felt like were a
Rizwan
bit
yang
sloppy.
untuk
just
MWI ke
getting
EWC?
Very
He died,
possible.
though.
Untuk
Didn't
MSC.
die.
She didn't die.
So we'll still give it
Mana
to
satu?
her. I would personally pick Hani actually. I think the far shot, the feathered airstrikes, forcing them out
Kau
of
kena
position
speaking
every
ke
single
Hisham?
time, even though it
Boleh,
didn't do
boleh
the
sangat
most
lah.
damage, made a big impact.
All right, so definitely these are must watches for GG as we go into the draft. I got
Boleh ke?
word
Boleh ke?
that the draft is nearly upon us. I do see the ladies back.
Yang
to
live
their
ni,
battle
yang live ni,
stations. So, Coach
yang ini
Rexlin,
stage dia
Coach,
kecil sebab ini
Aish
MWI
are
tau,
going to be
Rizwan.
playing once
Abang
again
Muhammad
a
Rizwan.
game of
Ini
chess,
bukan
to
MSC
set
yang
these
version
ladies up
lelaki
for
punya tau.
combat.
Yang lelaki punya
Besides the
besar.
Lancelot,
Stage
besides
dia
the
memang
Farce, I think these are
gempak
two
guys. Kalau korang datang memang
spotlight heroes for Navi
Wow.
MWI.
Ini
Any
baru stage
other
macam tu.
picks that maybe
Waktu first
GG
kita orang
should
masuk.
watch out for,
Wah.
maybe like I thought. Maybe
Macam
the trade for the Gatot
tengok
in
dekat
Korea
ni tu.
wasn't as straightforward as
No,
we
first
thought.
pick Arlot.
Aziata Arena dia punya stage.
Be
There
a
you
very
go.
viable option.
Switch the priorities.
Switch the
Yeah.
first.
Macam
pick
join
Arlot.
Todak
I think
kah?
gotta suss out what your
Guys,
opponents
aku dah
want. I
cakap
think
guys,
Focus
dalam
would
live
be the
aku,
much better
korang tak
choice
boleh
as
tanya
well.
aku
At
guys.
least you're able to
Hal-hal personal
disrupt
sebab
that
aku tak akan
backline
jawab.
more effectively. You
So,
can soak in more
akan
damage,
buat
you
korang
can heal
penat
everything
je.
back up.
Fight the Harris
Korang
better.
ni,
Fight the Harith better.
korang tak penat ke?
Trade off is you don't really have a loose member down on the side lane priority. So I guess that's what they want to go for. But I think putting Arya in a first pick position and you're playing against your old team is like, okay, I know Arya's gonna first pick this one. Now this is how they're gonna play. You're playing right into their books. You're falling into their traps.
I agree. I can definitely see that because Arlot is actually not too bad as a first pick, but it's always
Yeah.
risky to pick EXP lane early, right? Because this is one of the most what's the word I'm looking for? A lane that can be very
Versatile.
Versatile, yes. This is a very versatile lane. This is a lane that affects the game very heavily depending on how that matchup goes. So picking a hero early, you need to make sure that it's able to make an impact no matter what.
Yeah, it's versatile. Weirdly enough, meta-wise, I think XP lane now is versatile in purpose, but not in hero pool. It's one of the most shallow hero pools I've seen in a while. Maybe only second to mid.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
who's really in the XP lane right now?
Lapu.
Top tier. Lapu,
Uranus
always banned.
always banned out.
So it's Lapu, Arlot, Phovius, CC. Glue, that's it.
That's it. Maybe on the off chance, sometimes you pick up the Yuzhong, but we haven't seen that
No,
yet.
we've been alluding to the Yuzhong.
Tamasha is very situational.
My eyes are on these ladies and the coaches. Come on. Rexvin, Midnight, Aish, you have to do this now. Like, no debuts. I wish that was an actual Mia ban. Like, I was hoping that was real. It's like, what do they know about the Mia? We don't.
Sama je.
I mean, they've been scrimming in the Malaysian
Berapa rehat?
server, so
Berapa
they've
minit dia
definitely
dah
done
rehat,
a
guys?
couple
10 minit,
times before the EWC main stage.
Sama lah.
So,
Boleh main phone dulu tak?
Mia's
Kalau macam ni.
actually banned out. I think
Nah.
I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be shocked. I would be like, oh, it's kind of interesting.
I would be shocked.
I know you would.
I think I would be pretty shocked. And I see Mia in all my Pops games.
What rank are we playing exactly? That's dangerous. I'm worried for you than anything else. But folks, do let us know exactly who you think is going to be winning. Wherever you're watching Stream B from, welcome. Once again, we are smack dab in the middle of this best of 3, the opener to the MWI 2025. This is a Group B matchup between Navi Malaysia and Gaiman Gladiators. Again, just a quick refresher on the format. There are 4 groups. GSL format each, and the top 2, meaning they won 2 series, regardless of how many losses, makes it through to the knockouts. Anybody who loses 2 is knocked out. So this is what Navi MY 1 game away from being halfway there to qualifying for the knockout stage.
Yeah, but honestly though, we talked about this backstage. This is a matchup of the day for a reason, and I'm actually gunning to see 2-1s coming up from both teams. Maybe the first game is like, I just woke up, there's a little bit of a time difference, and I'm adjusting.
Oh,
to
okay,
my-
dah start dah dia
my,
punya ni.
jet lag,
Draft.
and I think this might be coming through.
It has been
Tadi draft
about
game 1 aku
48
tak tengok
hours
tau,
since
tak
these
sempat
ladies have
tengok.
landed, but that's more
Mari
than
kita
enough
tengok game
time
draft game
to
kedua
make
ni.
up for it, given that
Draft
game
dia
2 is
sebenarnya
upon
lebih
us.
kurang
Here
je.
we go.
Ish,
Churros,
gila.
Steffa.
Coach Aish.
Take care of
Siap.
Thank you,
Uish,
thank you,
Rex Vin?
sir. We will catch up with Leo
Rex Vin,
after
no coach
this
kat sana.
game. Will it be the end of the series, or will we be going to a game number 3? Game in Gladiators now under the spotlight. to see
Asal
whether or
satu
not
kat
they
Indo
can
stage
adjust their
gempak lagi.
strategies to
Yang mana
deal with
Nick?
Navi Malaysia. They have swapped sides, so they are going to be on the opposite sides of the draft this time around. Navi going to be banning out the Badang.
Perempuan
the
kalau main
Gatot
mesti
themselves,
make up
as well as
tu.
the 1-1. Whereas the Uranus and Yisun Shin will be taken out on the
Perempuan
red side.
kalau main turun
Apart
mesti
from
make up.
the heroes, pretty much similar from the first
Oh, tengok.
game. But take a
Semua
look
make
at
up.
the girls on both sides of the table. You have a Navi MY actually
Oi,
feeling very
senyum-senyum
confident,
tau.
very
Navi
calm,
MY.
composed, but you have a lot
Nampak
of
kau,
focus, very
eyelash dia.
locked in kind of phases coming in from GG.
Panjangnya.
So from both these two teams,
Eyelash.
I guess they have a different way of locking in. For Navi MY, it's just another game. It's just another game.
Live kat YT, live. Cakap je lah comel-comel Zon, malu-malu pula. Aish.
But now the box here getting first
Tak boleh,
pick
tak boleh
up
macam
by
tu.
Navi. So take a look at a lot of the
Boleh guys. Dia kalau kalau natural beauty boleh.
for the side of GG.
Tapi comel je. Handsome lah diorang semua.
Ranger getting picked up here by
Kau pun senyum kenapa Zon? Aku rasa awkward lah sebagai orang yang dah lama kan dalam scene ni kan. Dalam scene ni aku dah lama. Jadi bila tengok perempuan main kan, rasa macam tengok perempuan dekat macam mana rasa macam tak kena dengan game kita. Game kita kan lelaki je banyak main kan. So tiba-tiba ada orang make up bersiap macam ni. Sebab lelaki tak bersiap tu. Lelaki kalau main guys, kisah apa tu, asalkan menang je. Tak pakai makeup, kadang-kadang keluar tak hair dryer pun, asalkan pakai minyak je, keluar je sikat je. Dunia berputar dah sekarang. Syam, betul ke begitu tak? Penat tu aku jawab soalan bosan ni. Boleh tak aku nak ban tu soalan bosan ni? Aku dah baca, aku rasa 1000 kali tu soalan sama. Hei, bencinya lah. Aku benci tu drama. Boleh tak aku nak menghilangkan diri? Aku tak suka drama tu. Sebab malas tu. Bila drama ni, semua orang tanya soalan sama. Takkan hari-hari aku kena jawab soalan sama tu 1000 kali tu. Dia ibarat korang tanya mak korang, Mak, mak dah makan? Maknya jawab dah. Tiba-tiba orang lain tanya lagi, Mak dah makan? Dah. Mak dah makan? Dah. Uish, kalau mak kau jawab kali ke 15 mesti dia akan koyak. Dia akan diam je. Orang yang ke-16 tanya tu dia akan diam.
Not too sure how I feel about gaming Gladiators draft, but we will
Janganlah best soalan ni tanya je. Bosan tu tanya-tanya. Tanya soalan lain. Semua orang dah tanya dah soalan yang kau tanya tu. Kenapa kau lambat tertinggal kereta api, tinggal bas? Kalau tanya, cuba tanya yang awal-awal sikit. Yang macam baru, video tu baru 1-2 hari kan. Tanya. Ini videonya dah nak dekat 2 minggu orang tanya lagi. Lambat tu. Zon dah makan lah. Zon dah makan boleh tanya lagi lah. Saya baru lepas minum air. Makan belum lagi. Makan malam belum lagi guys. Stage playoff lain ke? Ke ni juga? Saya pun tak tahulah guys. Apa pendapat korang? Ini playoff diorang kan? Rasa macam iya tu.
But what hero would really be prioritized here?
We got Farsa wide and open, creates a lot of
Team gaming ni jadi Kemboja ke Syam? Kemboja ke? Maksudnya? Maksudnya apa tu Afiq?
Usually you'd ban out CC against Uranus. Uranus is already banned. Phobius, but not very good.
Zon tidur pukul berapa? Aku tidur pukul
Lapu is probably
pukul 1
the most likely
1 pagi.
EXP option, but if GG wants it, they need to lock it in now because there's a chance Navi steals it away. They go for Zetian.
Yeah. It's more of a passive play, doesn't do a lot of damage, and we talked about this yesterday as well when we were like
Macam
discussing
kecil je
about the
stage dia,
viability
Syam.
of Zetian, basically
Weh,
using
asal main daripada depan ni?
mage. You want to give a more vision on the Fury of the Phoenix, but as well as maybe try
Kan,
to
asal ada orang main daripada depan tu?
when Ashley goes in with the Kalea.
Weh, ni cakap nak pergi Lord pun tahu. Nak clear minion pun tahu ni. Nak ambil buff biru pun orang dengar ni.
So Lancelot will be picked up once again. Right
Kelakar tu.
now, I think
Kalau main daripada depan
easier
macam
target
tournament
onto
ni
this
tu,
Ranger,
sekolah
and
tu.
chasing Ranger
Tournament
is
sekolah.
not what you want to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's not ideal, but it's still something that you can do, especially now when you look at GG's draft.
Ui, tengok
they
draft
have
sikit,
a lot
lupa
of
tu tengok draft.
backline, right? Zetian and Granger are
Badan
generally going to
Gatot
be quite
1-1
vulnerable since most of the time, Kalea
Aish, guys, Aish dia dulu player tau guys. Sekarang jadi coach guys, Aish, coach Aish, and then dia sekarang jadi coach yang berjaya membawa Navi MWI ke EWC tau. Bukan senang tau nak jadi coach kepada perempuan ni guys.
Already going to be taken away by Navi as well, a hero that's very good at diving. And this is just straight up a dive comp.
Ui, Aish macam nice je jaket tu Aish.
Exactly what they need.
Ush, ada Red Bull, ada Logitech, ada Navi macam nice je. Bang. Satu gak sih Aish nanti? Kalau korang perasan, Aish ni selalu masuk live aku dulu guys, sebelum dia jadi coach. Hari-hari dia masuk live aku. Hari-hari dia akan komen dalam live aku. Aku dah penat dah layan Aish ni.
I can see that being quite good. It is a very strong matchup.
Sekarang dia dah tak masuk dah live aku. Sibuk dia guys. Sibuk dia. Dia yang dapat pergi Riyadh. Aku tak dapat tu. Aku yang duduk kat sini sekarang. Dia yang jadi coach, dia yang dapat pergi Riyadh. Baik tu Aish. Dia komen apa Syam? Banyak dia komen. Mana taknya kau idola dia? Ya doh Aski. Penat doh aku dengan perkataan idola tu. Tengok sikit draft kau Aish. Kalau kau menang lagi Aish, memang kau gempak doh draft ni. Aish pro player ke dulu Syam? Dia homeboys dulu guys. Homeboys Aish. Dia pro player. Dia pernah main dekat homeboys. Korang tak tahu ke? Aish ni, coach Aish ni, dia pernah kalah dengan Natalia aku. Jadi apa ni? Jadi eksperimen aku. Natalia Ro menentang Tigreal dia. Kelakar tu. Kasih tahu semua tak berlagu lah sekarang. Tapi Hani main Selena tu guys. Hani dah main Hani dah main hero favorite dia ke? Idol tu sumpah dia punya. Wow. Poking yang baik tu.
Pressure and try to get Panda to win out that lane. Ashley trying to draw a little bit of attention onto themselves and holding onto them.
Alright.
I like the early rotations from Sayori. Like I already mentioned, going to help out
ICS
the Charisma
EXP
early
tak?
is good.
Ashley
way too much damage taken.
Barbar banget tu.
The turret shots actually brought her down from almost full health to down low. Arya taking a little bit too much damage. Swipe and flicker out of the way. There's a crucial resources wasted for Gaming Gladiators. Right now, they're being on the aggressive too early. Haney getting the stun up. Might not be able to hit Sayori, and Sayori gets out safe for now. But you can totally tell that a lot of aggression coming in from Gaming
kalau kena tu
Gladiators.
Rimun, mati tu Rimun.
Is, but you ideally need a bit more lane control before you're able to do it. The goal is to get as many kills
Lawan negara
onto
mana?
Nicolette as possible.
Tu guys, korang tak nampak ada Arya tu guys. Fafau. Ada Arya tu guys, korang tak kenal ke Arya? Navi lawan negara mana? Navi tengah lawan Arya guys. Arya tu pakai tudung tu guys. Korang tengok tu sebelah Nicolette tu. Ni Arya guys. Pakai tudung guys. Dekat Gaming Gladiators. Korang tak tahu ke? Tengok stream BM Syam, tak nak ah. Bosan lah guys. Stream BM quality dia tak cantik guys. Korang mesti tak tahu kan?
As Navi rotating upwards, but Sadafa, this is looking much better for Gaming Gladiators. They have a pickup composition. They're playing it to their strengths.
Jam ambil Ryzel balik dia kat ML power habis. Ya ke?
Arya was not even level 4 at the time Navi was contesting.
Kita orang tengok laki je, perempuan tak kenal. Oh ni Arya guys, pakai tudung kau, pakai tudung.
Go to the opposite side
From
of the
Roma
map
to EXP ke? Betul tu jelita.
Get an assist on
Member dah main
Nicolette.
EXP
That is
dah sekarang.
exactly what they needed to do, and then they backed it off to make sure they do not
Dia main EXP guys. Gaming Gladiator ni kalau korang nak tahu dia team USA daripada USA ya.
I think Gaming can continue playing around this sort of situation. They actually have a good amount of mobility.
Okay,
so if they play the
alright.
map and just avoid
Adakah
fighting
Rina
against
percubaan di
Navi
situ? Swing,
early,
swing.
that might actually be a win
Boleh tu, boleh tu.
Yeah, Panda just
Ya
playing a little bit
boleh.
more safe.
Aku rasa boleh.
They're draw their
Oh tapi
attention
diorang main
away
santai kan, diorang main
from turret
aman.
range.
Rotation okay. Hani akan mati. Kenapa aku cakap Hani akan mati? Sebab memang dia akan mati. Kalau macam tu tak mati lah. Hai Busa. Kenapa kau pergi ulti macam tu? Hai Busa. Nicolit. Dia kat USA lah kiranya kau. Yo. Sekarang pergi USA dah member. Baik tu. Kenapa dia boleh main kat USA? Macam mana dia training tu? Aku rasa dia tak, Arya ni dia import untuk EWC ke ataupun dia import ataupun dia memang main line up Aku tak tahu lah. Dia belajar kat sana Oh, you do. Tak balik macam mana diorang training tu kalau tak. Gila belajar sana. Aku dah agak lah. Baik tu. Weh. Mati dia actually ni. Depan arrow. Nice follow up. Okay, Arya masuk dia guys tu. Oi, blue dia. Arrow kena lagi. Tak kena. Alamak sayangnya ni. Tu macam kena je.
He's next on the chopping block, but won't be able to hit that mark. But did you see that, Sadafa?
I did definitely see that, and that was a beautiful play coming in from Navi MY.
Mana ni? Gaming Gladiator ni macam tak connect lah bagi aku.
Because that was a work of art right there from Navi MY. Gaming Gladiator.
Tapi power lah Navi. Navi power lah guys.
There was no reason for Ashley to
Serius bro. Navi boleh lawan, boleh top 3 ni guys.
To back her up and instantly
Gameplay Navi ni boleh top 3
glue of all things.
Tapi kita tengok banyak team lagi guys sebenarnya yang power. Tak rugi ke bakat room Arya Hisham? Patutnya rugi lah. Ui. Mak Hani punya arrow pula kena. Arya. Sing.
Stay alive in this small little skirmish.
Ashley ni poyo sikit. Dia kan slay. Kau kena tahu. Dia memang slay. So nak buat macam mana? Dia ada sebab ada letak nama macam tu. Ashley. Memang slay tu dia. Pok. Tak sakitnya Lancelot Rina ni tu. Mak Hani mendapat kill semuanya. Guys yang baru masuk, punch card dulu guys. Siapa yang belum punch card, like dulu. Dah menang dari Navi MY ni. Menang 3-0 2-0 ni. Ashley macam takut pergi depan je. Oh, bayu. Bayu jangka guys, sing. Oh. Itu je bayu mana. Arya kena 0-3 dah guys. Jadi sayur dah. Arya marah duk, you Arya pegang mata. Mana ni Arya ada petak ni. Budak-budak USA ni boleh main ke tak boleh main ni, Arya kata. Baik aku stay Malaysia je kat sini.
Nicolette and Panda even trying to go for that Sky Piercer second item.
Baik tu punch card Yaiko punch card.
Item build, but not sure if this
wanita tim Indo kuat Syam je. Tim Indo kuat. Filipin kuat guys. China pun kuat dia aku.
You need bulkiness now. That damage is not going to help you.
Oh,
So
coach
Dara, if
mate,
you're
diorang
GG,
pun orang
what
Malaysia
is
Red
your
Bin tu.
game plan right now? Do you go for the team fights? Do you try to play more defensively or passively?
Susah tu
Try to
coach untuk
just
perempuan.
let that give up all
Perempuan
their
dah banyak
turns.
isu
They
tu.
do have a little bit of high ground, especially from Panda and Sayori. So
Susah tu nak coach untuk
might not
perempuan.
hurt them
Macam
for
mana
them
kita
to
nak
stay
tegur perempuan
turtled up
Perempuan
on
dah
their
cepat
base.
ni guys.
You literally
Cepat
have no
terasa tu
choice
kalau
but
kita
to
tegur.
either turtle or try and play risky to go for map farm. And looks like they are going for the latter, sending Panda down bottom to get minions.
They can't
but
take out the T1
yeah,
bottom
Navi
side.
is just
Oh,
rushing
man.
the base.
Oi, baik Renmoon.
Aria taking a little bit too
Mahal.
much damage, able to force that flicker out of the way. Sorori comes in for a backup, try to push them out of the way. Gaming Gladiator is able to zone Navi out just for now. Abyssal Arrow misses by a hair. They might not want to go for this counter re-engage.
Ui, air busa dia tak ada shadow macam ni. Oh, ada. Sepak mak ai kalau si glue-nya naik tu.
Where Gaming Gladiators just
Duduk
straight
di
up
belakang
has
kita.
no damage. They do nothing
Mencari.
to the members of Navi MY unless they're somehow able to jump on Hani.
Arya tu orang apa Zon? Orang Melayu guys.
Most of the time,
Orang
and
Islam.
MWI is more than aware of this. It's so easy for
Ah tu
them to
guys,
die.
ada kat bawah tu.
We talked about this during the draft, right? There's a lot of heroes on Navi that can just ignore.
Arya
the
orang Melayu,
baseline
orang
and
kita,
go for
orang
the
kita.
backline.
Dia
But they're
di-import
so
guys.
farmed at this point,
Untuk korang yang baru
that's
masuk,
the
kalau tak
reason
tahu,
why it's
Arya
basically a
di-import
pebble
pergi
on their
masuk
path that
ke
they're picking aside. They don't need to
Gaming
ignore
Gladiators
him
sebab dia belajar
because
dekat
to them,
US korang
Arya
cakap.
no longer
Ashley
exists.
kena, gas. Fight kat si. Nice.
Getting possessed on by
Menang dah
that
ni.
stick. Oh,
Hani
man.
versus everybody.
Shah will be able to stop her in
Hani.
her tracks and take her
Hero
down the
Hayabusa
way.
atas. Kalau kena
Gladiator's
RM5.
still up on one kill.
Tak kena.
Nicolette has that
Tak
shadow
RM5
dash
lah.
out of the way, but they're waiting by that shadows. They don't know that Nicolette is running away, but they're making a beeline for it. There's a silver arrow.
Red
and
3,
there's
second
a
skill.
huge red mark at the back as Nicolette slowly
Nak pergi mana ni
walking
Nicolette?
and prancing all the way as Rina. Oh, man, that's 2 levels ahead. I don't think she'll be able to survive this.
Even on Rina, you can see the Ogi Shadow Kill barely does
Wah,
anything. Even
Sesi
though
mengejar
Nicolette is
tu.
buying a lot of time, there's not enough
Tak
map
balik,
control
tak balik
for the
Nicolette.
rest of Gaming Gladiators to do anything with the space created. Nicolette goes down. Somehow they pick up Arya as well, who's
Dah koyak ni
hovering around
Ashley
the
dah koyak ni.
Very dire situation from Gaming
Sayuri.
Gladiators. Now they don't have their jungle.
Asal
They can't
Sayuri ni muka dia
contest
macam
with
Zishin ni?
Is Navi MWI taking full
Muka dia
control
sama
of
tu
game
guys.
number
Kalau korang
2.
tengok Sayuri
Messi. I
muka
am
dia sama
seeing a
macam
lot
hero
of
yang dia
Messi
tengah
plays.
pakai ni.
Really, no reason for Arya to be that far out. Your jungler is getting chased down across half the map, and the rest of your
Oh,
team
dia
is
dah
not
mati
going to be able to
04
back
dah.
you up. Give
Sabar
up
tu.
the Lord.
Budak-budak
Try to
Malay
get
tu,
farm
budak-budak Malay
wherever you
bantai tu.
can.
Bantai
And
Arya
the
guys.
more and more we see, the worse and worse it gets. We are looking at an 8,000 goal lead for Navi MWI. 3 items now concluded on Faufa with that Berserker.
Tu guys,
Spirit
tengok item
holding up
guys.
the
Siapa-siapa yang nak belajar
rear.
item.
Brute Force breastplate allowing Reyna to be more tanky.
Item.
Rayman once again focusing on that Dreadnought armor just to make it even more difficult for the Haya and Granger to actually make any sort of impact.
All of the members of Navi, they're at least 1 level ahead. You got Abyssal Arrow already stuck in. Shah trying to go in with the stick and split onto the fray. So Aria goes down
mati
once
saja
again.
tu
Gaming
kena
Gladiators has to
beduk
deal with
tu
the
ni.
Lord on the top side as well as the skirmish down the mid side. As everything goes wild, it's chaos in the land of Dawn, especially in the home of GG. There's nothing they can do. But they're going to play more defensively as they don't have that damage to take anyone down.
Macam mana nak
I'm
buat
sorry, Gaming
Aku tak tahu, dia
Gladiators.
berkicap,
This
dia kena
game is over. There is literally nothing you can do anymore at this point. You have no
They're gonna
damage.
make you eat your words.
There is no
Stop,
chance.
be careful.
It literally is no chance. I'll tell you right now. I would normally
Dia
say
macam
you
tak
need
ada
a
harapan
miracle
tau
to
nak main.
happen for this to turn
Baik juga
around.
Lancelot tu
This has
tak.
gone beyond
Budak
that.
Navi MWI
In my
memang
opinion.
mekanik dia
It is
on top
that
lah
dire.
guys. Kalau korang tanya aku lah,
Not looking
memang
so good for
Navi
Gaming
punya
Gladiators.
gameplay kan,
Don't really have that
mekanik
damage
player
to get on
memang
that defense. I think the only silver lining is
dari
only
mekanik
if
wise memang dah
Gaming
nampak
Gladiators
Navi menang
turtle
jauh
down
guys.
for at least another 10 more
Belum
minutes,
makro
trying to
lagi.
equalize the level
Ni tak payah
difference
makro dah
that
ni.
Navi MY has ahead of Gaming
Main
Gladiators. Out of
main
all
ni
of
je.
this, the only kill that
In
they
terms
had
of
was
mekanik pun dah boleh
Nicolette
menang
down on
dah.
that top side.
Awet
And
Izanami
this is
kan tu.
very, very
Arya dengan
difficult.
Izanami ke
This
sekarang guys.
composition required very specific
Oh, sakit.
conditions to
Oi,
be
mati
met in
Dorina.
order to be effective. And
Mati.
they've not found that.
You're the Phoenix already committed. Rina
Oi!
able to dash out of the way.
Tak
They
mati
cannot
weh.
finish the job. On the top side though, they're trying to buy
Gila,
some time.
fast
Nicolette
hand,
has used their shadow
doh.
kill, trying to push everyone out of the way, but with 1 cannon minion and 1 for foul right on
Mantap,
that
mati.
base. That is a huge chunk of damage.
Macam Lancelot aku
that
guys.
has already
Lancelot aku
been
dah tadi.
taken out from that T3 on that bottom side.
Navi MY showing the world right
Level
now
aku, guys. Level
how
aku,
much
guys.
they have improved since their
Level
last
aku,
stint
tadi.
in MWI. This is really clean macro. The decision making
Baik,
is so
doh.
effective. When they saw Arena getting jumped by 3 members up top, the instant decision is to go for the push down bottom. Maybe pick off Nicolette if they're lucky. They weren't, but they still are able to create the pressure.
Rina
they're
dah lah
looking
comel,
for. And
jago
now
pula tu.
There is
Ya
lane
ke?
manipulation happening to maybe
Wah, tu guys,
break
Rina, guys.
out in advance as
Comel lah
the
guys
Lord is
Rina.
going to respawn.
Cuba korang cakap.
They're playing on the opposite
Comel
side
ke
of the
tidak?
map, though. Lord spawning up in 3 seconds. This gaming gladiators tries to get enough priority.
Dibo team
over
mana,
the
Zon?
jungle,
Dibo
picking all that
team-
scraps. It doesn't look like they
Asia
want
Sayan.
contest for this Lord. They can't.
Dibo,
And
guys,
this is the
nanti.
12-minute Lord that we're talking about.
Dibo
Sadat,
import
but
juga
gaming
dekat MWI ni,
gladiators
kalau korang tahu.
once again, Shah is actually keeping them busy. Getting a
Asia
little bit more
Sayan nama
vision,
team dia.
tries to get herself
Oh,
out.
perang, guys, perang, guys.
Ashley.
Diorang perang tanpa lens slot tau ni. Percubaan, percubaan. Ui, rata dah ni. Mati lagi Arya, guys. Ui, ada personal. Ada personal Rina. Rina dengan Arya. Personal ke? Personal tu.
Arya gonna be picked off as well. Mega kill going over
Mak,
to
kau
Rina
tengok tu
as
mekanik
Hani
dia,
chases
diorang ni macam
this
mana.
down. Nicolette 1v1 monster kill.
Dah, GG guys.
5
Guys, jangan lupa
members
like dia lagi guys.
MWI
Tolong aku
rush
dapatkan
down
20,000 like guys. Siapa yang belum tekan like?
There's no way that GG will
Thank
be
you
able to
very much
defend
someone.
against
Kenapa
this push
Oracle first
in the
item?
battle of Malaysia
Kalia.
versus North America.
Boleh cakap dia nak cooldown.
Takes this not as a
Kedua dia
game,
nak
but
life
as a
steal yang tinggi.
A statement
Gila, menang dah
has
guys.
been made, has
Dah
been
menang, dah
published,
menang
has
Navi.
been edited,
Congratulations
and
dan
put
Navi.
out in full blast
Navi.
for the world
Baju
to
satu
see.
Navi.
Navi MY are
Jacket
here
satu
as
Navi, Navi. Jacket.
contenders, eager for the throne of MWI, and this is only the first step
Ada
on
tu
that
double agent lah
journey.
korang.
But what
Tak,
a
dia macam
huge step it is
apa ni,
for
satu
these
kill je,
ladies
guys.
up
Dia
on
bagi
stage
kill
right
dekat
now.
gaming
A
gladiators.
clean
Itu pun
sweep
Fafau yang
against
bagi
their
tau.
rivals gaming gladiators.
First game,
Gila,
I would
Navi
say,
MY. Let's
pretty
go.
close for both teams. I thought
Lepas ni dia
GG
lawan siapa,
had some
guys?
fight in them, but the
Navi
second
ni dia
game,
yang sponsor ke? Ya.
after that
Nadi
first
nak
split kill onto
bukan
the top
Nadi.
side onto Fafau,
Tu
it
tu
kinda
gabungan
seems
Zon.
like
Tu gabungan Navi dengan
MWI,
Dendi.
they're all locked in,
Navi
ready to
ni
go.
kepunyaan
They're like,
Dendi
"Not
guys.
anymore.
Korang tahu kan
Don't
Dendi?
take out my Fafau. I'm gonna take you all
Uish,
out."
dorang ada satu
But
outfit
man,
doh.
what a
Oh,
series
jago doh
this has
Navi.
been
Please,
for
please
both
sponsor me
teams. A lot of
Navi.
high hopes for both these two
Ui.
teams as well.
Tak ada fist bump
It's just been an incredible performance, honestly.
Oh, sekarang
There
EWC tak buat fist bump
Some
Oh, terus interview lah guys.
early in game number
Hey,
1,
but
but
Dia
you
ambil
said it
Rina,
was
dia
a
ambil Rina
warm-up.
guys.
You said it was a warm up.
It was a warm-up.
I think you were right.
It was more
It
of a warm-up
really
for
was.
Navi MY.
Arya
Like,
mesti
okay,
disalahkan.
we made
Tak,
some
aku rasa
mistakes,
Arya
we
tu.
changed it, and they
Korang tahu tak
were
nanti, geng?
dominant in the second
Budak-budak
game.
They were
gaming gladiator akan
so
cakap Arya ni
dominant.
kan
I'm honestly curious to
imposter.
see what they will have to say,
Hey,
because we
you,
haven't even
Arya,
you set up. You guys
why
can
are
see
you
the tracks,
playing
the
not like
handsome
Scream?
man standing there next to Navi MY. Let's
You
throw it over to him and
suddenly
see what they have to say.
Give free win to Malaysia because of you Malaysia. Nanti Ashley tu dah ni lah guys. Ashley dah marah dah habis. Ashley kalau dah marah habis tu jangan tengok muka dia tu.
Rina,
Muka dia betul-betul slay tau.
jungler of Navi MY.
Dia akan
Now, a
bagi
lot of
side
us
eyes
kinda
dekat
thought you were the
Arya.
MVP for those two games. I don't know what the final call is going to be, but before we get to that,
Oh, kita
quick
tengok.
formalities. How
Kita
do you like
kita
the
layan
odds
je guys.
so
Aku
far?
kuat kan.
So far so good, but it's just a little bit hard. Yeah.
Definitely a little bit toasty. You guys came into this game swinging. You 2-0'd. Did you feel confident coming into this game?
Yeah, I feel so confident that we are gonna top one in my grouping.
All right, top one in the group. All right, are there any teams that you're really excited to face after you top one in this group when you get to playoffs?
Dia
If
group
you
dengan
top
siapa,
one in the
guys?
group, do you feel anyone that you're really aiming for?
I think it's gonna be Onyx.
Onyx apa tu?
Because we lost to them in
Nak jumpa
other
Kyrie.
games, yeah, so we want to revenge.
Okay, and last question. We got to see you play Lancelot amazingly. Are there any other junglers that you're excited to play?
Kita tak
during this
tahu
event?
guys.
Yeah.
Diorang ada team apa?
I will bring Saber. No, I'm joking only. So you guys have to stay tuned and watch our all games. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, make
Uish,
sure you guys stay tuned.
bisa bahasa
and let's
English
throw it back
tu.
to our
Rina baik
wonderful
tu. Dah lah
casters
jago.
with the highlights.
Lepas tu korang cakap comel lah. Korang cakap comel. Lepas tu boleh
That
bahasa
is the
Inggeris
face of a
guys.
man
Korang nak apa lagi guys?
that,
Korang tu tak
is
sistem.
trying to hold back
Korang kena
his
sedar
tears.
diri. Rina tak nak kat korang pun.
But hey,
Rina tak nak dekat korang sebab korang tu dah lah noob. Tak sistem. Rina tu light system, korang kena tahu. Korang jangan nak take Rina lah. Aku tahulah korang ni. Korang ni kalau
And they really
Perempuan
set
tu
themselves up
ada
for that.
kelebihan
They were
sikit, korang
basically
mulalah
lined
nak
up like
try.
bowling pins,
Tapi korang tak
waiting
sedar
for
diri.
Raja to roll
Korang
them
main
over.
dan slot tak
Again,
macam
this
Rina
strat
pun.
is not easy to
Hai,
pull
malu
off.
tu.
It's a composition that needs a lot
Hoish,
of
malu tu, mana
conditions
nak
to
tak
be
muka
met.
tu kalau
And
lane
they're
slot
already
lelaki
playing
tak
from
boleh
the
main
back
macam
foot
Dina.
because Navi MY is clearly
Korang tengok ni, the
adjusting
art
their
of
hero
escape
picks
tadi dia buat Dina, guys.
based
Mana,
on
guys?
what is coming
Sing,
out
sing,
from
sing,
gaming
sing.
Gladiators.
Huh.
They go for full dive composition.
Lagi?
to
Oh,
punish
sing.
a front to back.
Gila,
And
Rina, guys.
I still am
Kau
not
pun
too
sama
sure
macam.
about some of the options we saw here, but we have
Aku.
Leo back on the desk.
Guys,
What are
korang
your
jangan
thoughts
petik-petik
about
nama
our
aku.
series, sir?
Something
Not my
tells me
level
maybe,
doh.
if not just as quickly, much
Aku tak boleh
more
masuk lah
quickly,
dengan
things
korang
went
punya
sideways
ni.
for GG in game number 2.
Kategori
Definitely
aku
some
ni dah
stuff,
berkahwin.
they need
Korang tu
to
yang masih
polish,
single tu.
their
Kategori korang lah, aku ni dah
communication,
berkahwin. Not my
even
level.
the draft, it's
This is
clear
not
that
my
they
level
love
though.
Kalia.
My
They
level
like
was
a certain
up there.
way of team fighting, or that they prioritize certain resources when it comes to building.
Okay,
But
uish, mantap doh, guys. Tolong guys, tadi aku minta tolong like kan. 30,000 boleh guys. 30,000 like.
ended in 13. This one was just
Sikit-sikit dah lah Zon. Ya, sorry.
Yes.
This had to
Yeah.
learn.
Ajak
Just-
Fury doh.
It
Ai, sumpah doh.
wouldn't have been if Navi MY was being more aggressive in their work run. They could afford to be,
Yang,
but
kenapa
then
nak kena
you
end
might
stream,
give
yang?
advantage over
Saya
to
baru je
GG.
live ni, takkan nak kena
They
end
were
live dah.
dominant, but
Saya
they
baru
were
live
also
40 minit
disciplined
tau.
in how they want to play out the
Kenapa nak
entire
kena
game.
end live pula ni?
A lot of teams struggling with closing games out, but
Saya tak
Navi
cakap
MY
apa-apa,
just
Ki.
learning from their mistakes.
Saya
Yeah, I
pun
think that's an
dah
excellent
minta kebenaran
observation.
awak tau
That's
nak
exactly
live
what happened.
MWI
It
ni,
was
boleh tak?
aggression, but control.
Sebab awak
They
tahulah
knew
kan,
exactly the limits
yang
that they
mainnya
could push while
bukan
still
lelaki.
keeping their egos intact
Saya pun tak tahu
and
nak tengok
having
gameplay ke
fun
nak tengok muka
on that
ni.
land
Tapi
for
diorang ajak
John.
saya
It's
tengok
very
muka
clear
yang.
one of these teams
Diorang
knew
suruh.
what needed to be done. I think
Diorang
that
komen
game
mengarut lah yang.
Gladiators
Diorang
definitely
cakap
went into this game with a
Dina
plan.
comel
That's why they
ke?
stuck to their draft
Cantik
so
tak?
closely. But
Diorang tak tanya pun.
it's
Diorang tak cakap
already
pun macam
difficult
Dina
to have
jago tak
execute
Syam?
that kind of
Macam
plan
mana lane
against a
slot dia
full
tadi
team
Dina
of
macam tu?
counters, and I feel like
Saya pun
even
tak
from
tahulah
game
nak jawab
one,
macam mana.
there
Diorang
was
ni
some
bukan-bukan
miscommunication
doh.
that
Tanya
needed
kat
to be fixed.
guys, korang ni
what exactly
ini
that looks like
korang
translated
faham
into the
dah?
game.
Ini Mobile
We're
Legends
gonna
guys.
go and,
Kenapa
take a
korang
peek
duk
once
tanya
more
pasal
at game
muka
2,
orang
the
eh?
replays
Cantik
here,
ke tak?
run through, this base defense,
Kalau korang tanya pasal
which
gameplay dia
was,
cantik ke tak, aku
as
boleh
soon
jawab
as
lagi
I
guys.
saw
Kalau
majority
Rina korang
vote
tanya
spent,
cantik ke tak, comel ke tak,
I think
aku
what was
bukan
that
di luar
stuff
bidang
he
aku
said was
guys.
like, yeah, it's over.
Ini
I don't
bukan
think
bidang
there's
aku lah,
anything
guys.
left for GG, and Churros, as much as you'd like for
Ha, macam
Trump to
gameplay
lead
Hani
the
cantik
Hornets,
tak Syam? Cantik.
the reality situation.
Gameplay ya, gameplay guys,
the
gameplay
math
Hani.
checks
Korang
out.
dengar tak guys, gameplay
Rina
Hani
was
aku cakap.
just a little too much. I'd say even Hani was a
Lag terus. Ui,
little. We were looking for the
internet aku dah
Selena
kena
pre-draft,
potong
yeah?
ke?
Pre-game,
Dah kena turn
pre-match.
off.
And here, Hani brings it out.
Bini aku dah
I think this
tutup
was a much
wifi tu
easier
guys.
game, even for Remon compared to game 1. I think so. All the Baksha has to do is run herself into 2 or 3 members,
Ashley Syam,
Now she
you
has
ada
help from
Ashley
Shah.
lagi.
and then you can just rinse and repeat.
I have to note, we didn't like get to point this out in the game very
Lama
much,
lagi ni guys,
but,
MWI ni panjang
Remon
lagi
was
tau
so
gamenya.
comfortable that I
Sekejap lagi
think
siapa
she
lawan
went
siapa
for
pun.
a Guardian Helm
Banyak lagi
second
kita nak kena
item.
tengok ni.
Just-
Kita nak tengok
I'm
gameplay
staying.
guys.
This is my
Yeah.
house
Kita nak
now.
kena tengok gameplay tau.
Doing a little bit more damage
Korang
over
kena
time
tahu
as
dalam
well
live aku
for
tengok gameplay je.
Rome.
Kita
Just to get a
bukan
little more
misi
damage,
mencari siapa paling cantik, siapa paling itu ya.
but
Kenapa lagi lagging ni?
12,000 gold lead by the end of the entire series.
Apa pandangan Pak Cham
I
tournament
mean, now
tournament
series
woman
on
oi.
stream based
Ini baru betul tu. Pandangan saya bagus tu tournament woman ni. Dia muka
Oh, while still
mata
keeping it
mak bapak bahawa anak perempuan diorang pun boleh jadi gamer, pro
freeze,
player.
or will we
Ya aku nak tengok ni je guys. Aku nak tengok diorang punya opening kan tadi. Macam mana?
hero?
So
like she
And I'm yeah, that was definitely
Oh dia tak ada opening
they know safe
Ha guys?
stop.
start.
GG.
Diorang masuk macam tu je.
Oh, there are these names.
There's definitely benefits.
new interesting kinds.
Kami saksi Pak Chai cakap Rini comel.
In
Siapa Rini?
Would not get anytime I see
Ha, aku tak tahu Rini siapa
first game, so
Yang aku kenal
maybe
Rina.
Navi
Aku
might
tak
be
kenal Rini.
above that
Rini.
Lancelot. Has a
Ha,
bit-
kau yang
bit
buat
of a
cerita
high
fitnah
different
tu.
build that you could play
Rini tak ada dalam
odds,
game
have a little bit of lane control in the side
Macam mana
lane,
diorang
have
punya
the
walk in
pressure
tadi guys?
in the late game as well.
Tengok MPLMY.
Lantas mereka ada juga cuba untuk memberikan tekanan kepada Hani pada permulaan.
Oh ni tu. Buka-buka cerita macam ni.
Itulah titik permulaan.
Siapa ni tu?
And now, presenting to you China's representative,
China representative.
Legends Game. Gaming. Now led by their captain Bay, she has mentioned that TLG this season will be the fastest running dark horse of the competition.
Kenapa kena buat macam ni?
Entire roster
Ini
will be
Illuminati
making
tu.
their second straight MWI appearance and they're gunning for the trophy this time around. Now the region of China only made their debut last year and is showing rapid improvement in terms of performance as we can't wait to
Thank
see
you doh
the
bagi
action
gift.
happening over at the land of dawn.
Illuminati ni guys. Banyak agenda ni. EWC ni banyak agenda. Ya. Macam mana kau tahu Syam? Yelah. Mana ada Muntun nak letak prize pool sebesar ini tu. Agenda banyak ni. Tidal B tu awet aku Syam. Tidal B. Tidal B siapa?
I believe the stage is set, Cheryl, and we have our lovely cleans resting on the stage, getting ready to start our first game of the day.
Ada orang lain yang tengah main ke guys?
Absolutely right. The players are ready.
Ha? Ada tim lain yang tengah main ke? Stream B? TLPH?
On Navi instead. We will catch.
Sekejap lagi next game ke apa? 8 minit. Ni stream apa? MWI stream A.
2 lanes, and I believe we're going to look at the EXP.
Some glimpse of what they can do if they just wait for the heavy
ini baru fight gamenya.
used here by Chokes.
We got to celebrate this, right? Because MWI
marks one of very crucial for Team Falcon since some of their teams also that
Nina, you want to shower?
during wildcards or for the wildcards wasn't able to really
Rising Rage and Foot Esports will be the closing match for Stream B.
You know, for Rising Rage and FUT Esports, we don't really have that much of information for them. So it's something that we should really look forward because it would the Philippines, but because I was able to actually
power
cover
ranking. Ush, ramai orang predict Navi tu kuat tu. Tapi ni top 3. Nombor 1 Falcon, Onyx.
Other games and it's a very energy for these ladies. They prepared really well coming to the tournament, and this is the time where they need to show what they really prepared. So
ada Navi banyak
really enriching to see
because we do have a few teams.
Navi tu tadi.
Emotional stability is
Navi
one thing really for these ladies. They prepared really well coming to the tournament, and this is the time where they need to show
Navi Malaysia nanti guys.
Here we got their dollars on the line, and a throne awaits their new queen.
Now it's incredible to be back here. Previous and we here through these champions.
To the stage, starting off with CFU Gaming.
CFU Gaming. Nabi Filipin lawa tak Syam? Biasa je guys. Tak semua dekat mata aku, semua dia biasa je.
The representatives from Cambodia attending their second straight MWI tournament. Will they be able to claim their first international title for their organization and for themselves?
And now, presenting to you your Burmese representatives, Terra Queens. Now the new team led by Muat veterans who are returning for their third straight MWI appearance here in Rio.
Cantik baju dia.
Max.
Ini lagi cantik baju dia.
Max. The representatives from Latin America, once again with a second appearance here at MWI, a powerhouse of the region, a dominant force ready to unleash their full potential and claim
salah
the championship.
Salah ke aku puji baju cantik. Sebab yelah dalam Mobile Legend, dalam kita punya lelaki, mana ada orang buat baju hitam macam ni lagi kan? Tak boleh tu, tak boleh cakap apa-apa tu aku rasa. Cantik tu tak boleh. Cantik tak boleh cakap tu dalam live ni.
Now led by veterans Honey and Fafa who are returning from last year's MWI. They are out for redemption this year after falling short the previous round, and they want to show the world that they have what it takes to win the tournament.
Club Championship. Next up,
Oh,
a
ni
team
dia.
looking to secure
Tim
points
Arya,
for
guys.
that club championship as well. Welcome to the SNB Arena, Gaming Gladiators.
Gaming Gladiator tu.
The representatives from North
Gaming
America
Gladiator guys ni. Aku tunjuk kat korang satu-satu timnya. Baru kita tahu tim apa.
Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, in the heart of the country, in the Riyadh Boulevard.
Ni dah bukan gameplay Syam.
Once again, who represented NA
Yo,
last
ni
year.
tak kita tengok
Will they
nama
be able
tim.
to secure their title? Led by their Romer Ashley.
Boleh Ashley
and
pakai benda tu
powered by the
benda ni
Malaysian
dia pakai tu.
powerhouse import Arya.
Presenting to you Mongolia.
Bapak tinggi Ashley ni.
And now, presenting to you Mongolia's representative, the region and the team will be making their debut this year at Queen.
Lawa
of the
doh, apa yang lawa tu,
Presenting
Amir?
to you, wow,
Lawa ai sebelah Aira tu. Arya sebelah Arya tadi Ashley guys. Tapi dia ada perangai slay guys. Aku beritahu korang ah.
Under a new banner, looking
Aku
for
nak satu lah
another
baju, guys.
title. It's Navi.
Bukan maksud aku nak satu baju Navi guys.
Once again, one of the
Baju
most
Navi sebab
dominant regions that Mobile
baju
Legends
Navi
has
kan Navi
ever
Malaysia.
seen.
Navi
Can
Malaysia
they
aku nak satu
claim
baju.
another title? Can they go back to back? Can they go all the way?
Bahaya tu kalau tak habiskan ayat.
And now, presenting to you the Turkish
Navi
their
Philippines.
debut. Our Turkey's representatives, the region and the team will be making
Ni
the
tim apa?
light. Our Turkey's rep.
Turki.
And now, presenting to you the Turkish
Baju
delight,
Nenan
our
lah, semua lah
Turkey's
baju Nenan ni.
representatives, the region and
Macam
the
ustazah
team
tu,
will
Arya.
be making their debut this year, and the ladies are
Kita tengok
ready
balik guys.
to make
Nama-nama
the mark.
tim ni aku
And
tak sempat
presenting
stream
to
tadi.
you the pride of Turkey, Food Esports.
Turki dia Rusia. Oh. Ni terciduk awal ni. Tapi baju
And
diorang
now
nice.
the
Ada jaket guys.
representatives from Indonesia,
sweatshirt.
give it up for Team Vitality.
Wow. Aura
The
farming tu.
Bees from the Hive, the
Wow.
two-time MWI
Aura farming.
champions in 2022 and 2023.
Aura farming guys.
They may
Ni.
have missed out on making an
The
appearance
champion
last year,
of the
but they
champion.
are back, fiercer and stronger than ever.
Asal diorang kena jalan
To
slow.
make a
Orang lain
dominant
semua jalan
performance
laju tu.
here on the stage.
Wow. What colour? Brown.
Check your watches. What time is it? It's Onyx time.
Oh, ni ada
Presenting
lagi
to
tu.
you Indonesia's representatives making their tournament debut this
Itu
year.
bukan ke tim
This may
orang
be their
Indo tu?
debut, but they're
Lutfi
already considered a
Siapa nama dia?
powerhouse. Keep your eyes on none other than Onyx.
Apa pasal lawa yang ni jam? Yang ni Yang ni lawa mana satu guys? Itu bukan orang Indo ke? Ke ni ni Indo? Yang tengah ni orang Indo tu.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know them, you love them. They are the hometown heroes, the representatives from Mina. Give it up for Twisted Minds.
Hometown.
Looking to get representatives from Mina.
On maybe the knee check.
Dominant performance here on the stage, better than ever. Making an appearance last year, but they are
Lagunya tu bertukar lah
dominant
setiap tim.
Watches making their tournament
representatives from Mina.
Lagunya tukar-tukar lah. Aku ingatkan ni.
Mecca and South
Ada lagi?
were returning for their third straight
Ui,
MWI
ada orang pakai tudung tu, guys.
Cal, Hong's representatives,
Asal muka macam Melayu?
led by Vietnamese veterans Daisy, Cal, and Sa, who are returning for
Lawa,
their third straight
Sasha.
MWI appearance.
Syah, lawa
And they
je.
have their eyes, who are led
tim
by
mana?
Vietnamese veterans Daisy. To you, Mekong's representatives,
Mekong?
led by Vietnamese veterans Daisy,
Vietnamese.
Cal, and Sa, who are
Orang Indo,
returning for their third straight MWI appearance.
Orang
They
Segeramat
have their
tu.
eyes set on the throne. Virtus Pro is here and
Oh,
ready
ni orang Indo,
to make waves. Put your hands together for Virtus Pro.
Virtus Pro. Wah, ada dua tim tu. lagi ya?
ECA's representative.
Ada lagi.
Give it up for Rising Rage.
Rising Rage.
And you representative from their region after debuting exactly what they are now. They are more than ready to region. ECA's representative, give it up for the SNB Arena. ECA's representative,
ECA kat mana
give it
guys?
up for Rising Rage.
ECA mana guys?
And you representative from
Putih
their
rambut dia.
region after
Arab.
debuting last year. And now
Ramai
they
tim
are
tahun ni
more
je.
than ready to show
Takkan Arab
the
lagi,
world
Arab tim
exactly
Falcon ke tadi?
what they are made of and what kind of play style they
Europe.
will be bringing to the table
Rusia.
at this tournament.
Oh ye, tengok hidung guys. Tengok hidung. Rusia. Ini balik awal ni. Tengok gayanya tak pandai main Mobile Legend ni. Ini tengok gaya tak pandai main Mobile Legend.
Presenting to you the EWC Club Champions, Africa's representative soaring.
EWC Club Champion.
And now, presenting to you the EWC Club Champions, Africa's representative soaring into
Team Falcon,
action. Team Falcon!
Ni baru Team Falcon. Oh ya tu aku dah tahu dah. Sebab hari tu champion EWC Club tu Team Falcon tu.
Team Falcons is making their second straight MWI appearance, and they will be soaring into action here in the
Jujur aku cakap macam international tak ada kau, sumpah rasa kurang. Memang kurang. Diorang tak tahu. Tak ramai player tu. Nak pakai tudung ke tak nak? Tak nak pakai tudung buka. Yang kanan sekali tu guys.
As we can see in front of us now, the key wall with 16 teams and 16 keys representing their tournament life and their right to participate in this year's competition. With one goal in mind for every single one of these competitors and every single one of these challengers, keep your key intact and keep your hopes and dreams
Ni tak boleh daripada
alive.
bawah ke atas tak ada. Dia daripada atas ke bawah ada Vamos tadi guys.
Next up in the SNB Arena, ladies and gentlemen, one representative, you know him from the Philippines, it's Team Liquid!
Lagi sekali.
Philippines World
Boleh sebab nak lawan Oh ni yang tadi tu.
I believe the stage is set.
Meta, I just not but see
Tahu menang. Game 1 fight up.
want to achieve
Macam pembantaian je.
EOG
PH is stuck to the
replay, but not
Now, free Lord.
13 minit.
facing.
Pembantaian tu game 1.
They can't walk up,
Game
walks up again. Oh, chasing.
Oh, there you go.
Lagi. Game kedua.
H, they could go
Dia
for
kedua
a kill.
fight.
They could jump
Pakai
in,
jungle.
especially Ramisi here with that much needed damage.
Alot.
They're just
Wah,
playing the waiting
Retri,
game, but no
Gatot.
more waiting. Oh,
Exactly. Tsunami's time of Leve has
Jago
vengeance.
dia, Ramiti.
Oh, what a big stun! Now with the Zaman Force, it's going to be the damage coming through with Chrono dashes into the back. Choke still no heavy spin. Ramisi gets away with the Queller, now gets a double kill. Vermouth and Yin Huai still safe in the back as Spade.
Dia masuk lagi.
Taiki with the flicker forward, finding the shoulder bash. Ramisi gets a triple.
Kenapa dia masuk lagi tu? Si Edital ni. Kertuk dia guys. Kacip tu dia.
Gets a double kill.
Kertuk ni.
Vermouth and Yin Huai still
Gas lagi,
safe
gas
in the
lagi.
back as Spade.
Gas lagi, boleh lagi.
Makan
tu. Banyak minum ketum tu.
Ramisi gets a triple. 3.
wow. Ramisi
Ini
for
Team
3.
China ni.
And we've mentioned, when you're too honest, spin. But we understand she has no choice.
Juara
She has
last
to
year team
defend,
mana tu
she
lah,
has to
Team
accept,
Vitality tu.
And now that's how you do it.
Zaman
We will
Force.
Bukan dia
win.
champion.
To the back, still a lot of damage. Claw almost sealing with Yin Huai low, but she gets the fadeaway instead with the heavy crossbow.
Hilang
That she
Harit tu.
almost
That's
Kau
how you
tengok tu
do
Harit tu.
it.
Kena hit
We
dengan
will
Edital.
win.
to the back, still a lot of damage. Claw almost sealing with
You do
Nyawa
it.
dua
We
bayang.
will win.
the back.
Ni guys.
Still a lot of damage.
Dia kena hit. Ni nyawa banyak ni. Hilang tau kena dengan Edital.
Almost sealing with Yin Huai low, but she gets the fadeaway instead
Dia
with
macam
the
apa
heavy
dia?
crossbow. The GD are off of the crystal. More.
Has to is the item as well. This is what we're talking about. They just need time. They just need to farm up. And now, well farmed Yin Huai, by the way.
Cici dia.
Even with a great dragon spear.
Woi. Kau tengok duit Cici tu guys.
By the way, we're talking about they just need time. They
11,000
just need to farm up.
doh.
And now,
Well, for MWI, by the way.
Kalah
Even
Povil
with a
tu.
great Dragon Spear.
Jauh banget.
Into the rose gold meteor landing. Maybe
Cici dia macam one versus all dah ni.
Chokes, but they
Orang
actually
kata.
don't want to go for it all the way. Now Sun over as well. Choke super tanky.
Cuk ni bila tekan hati.
Has from that.
Betul hati. Lepas tu kau buat apa
You
tu?
know, you have a solid backline. Collapse will be taken and Ramis DL.
You just a very nice dart, and now they're out.
Jump to the back now. Again, Bay with the vengeance still getting taken out. Yin Hua.
Without choice. Now they're contesting the third Lord for this round. Sojo Anthem without choicing
Apa
out.
benda lah cam
Again,
tu
Bay with the
kamera
vengeance
macam tu
still
guys.
getting taken out. Yin Hua
Asal kamera
with
macam tu,
the heavy crossbow being beamed down over.
Be a
CCP
very
di
nice
Filipin,
clean slap
battle
here.
kita kalah.
Open base of TLG.
Ya.
2-0 delayed in that
Ni
format.
lah tim Filipin ni.
A very great.
And players.
Kanya.
So they use, I want to say like TLG, they're known for using players. Well, in game number 2, so what makes you and your team better Zetian users and players?
Kanya.
So they use, I want to say like TLG, they're known for using Zetian. You're a better Zetian player. Why?
Maybe I spam it in RG.
I like it. Just the ability to spam a little bit better than our opponents. But congratulations, Zaishi, on an
Itu je
incredible
jawab.
performance. And we're going to hand it over
Siap
back to the
betul lah.
studio.
Itu je kau jawab rupanya. Panjang-panjang.
Thank you very much. And
Yang
oh
bertanya.
boy,
Suruh
we
ulang
gotta
lagi
talk
sekali.
about that
Itu
bait
je.
around the Lord as well later. Amazing job. And you guys look amazing. Yes, hey, you know?
Just when you say
Because I stopped in rank game.
when the Kimmy got to the power spike,
Muat.
that it
Hi.
Tapi patutnya Filipin pandai English ya guys.
is
Siapa main lagi
It's my name is Rose, and I will be bringing you
Ada Rose?
all the action live from Stream B. So a
Stream
while
B?
ago, we have just recently concluded our first match of the day, in which Navi MY got a clean sweep 2-0 win up against Gaming Gladiators. And right now, we are currently gearing up for our second match of the day. Now, behind me, we currently have Virtus Pro, and obviously on my left, we have Terror Queens. Now, this is going to be the second match of the day. I honestly cannot wait to get things started. So let's show it to the panel.
Thank you very much, Rose.
Power
Appreciate
Rose.
it. Oh my goodness. So Navi MY
Yeah.
clean sweep 2-0. They told me.
little or big.
For me,
Lag,
it's
lag. Sorry guys, lag guys. Aku pun lag guys.
May not have a lot of experience participating in tournaments of this scale with. So we can tell that from this year of
Aku pun lag guys.
MWI,
Guys,
a
aku nak
lot
pergi
of
ni jap.
teams have
Aku nak pergi
put a
mandikan
little
aku.
bit of extra
Kejap
effort compared
Nanti kita
to
sambung kau.
when
Korang jangan-
MWI joined
korang masuk balik
EWC for the first
Aku nak pergi
time.
mandikan aku
There's
jap.
a lot more eyes on this competition, and the players are aware of that.
Yeah, let's get down to brass tacks here. Talk about the meta because the draft is nearly upon us. Starsoy plays heroes that, in her words, are unkillable. So she wants to try and make the Angela Alice work if it comes through.
Yep.
She also has a pocket Lucas. Well, in the days of their qualifiers, Lucas was still a top-tier jungler. Gentlemen, what heroes do we want to see come out this time around? I think it matters more now because the wish list is very real. As long as we manage our expectations, we did see a Selena come out in game one match one.
To be honest,
game two.
When I was watching the Mekong qualifier, Starsway actually pulled out Fanny a couple of times. And we oftentimes don't see Fanny anymore because there's a lot more, I wouldn't say better heroes, but easier to execute heroes. But Starsway played it super well. They understand their own dynamics within the team. They understand what their job is, what their role is in between every single one of the lanes, especially big team fights and macro plays. So I'm not surprised if she actually picks up the Fanny once again. And don't be surprised of other assassins that might not see the light of day. Like the Lancelot might come up once again, the Lings as well.
Starsoy Fanny might definitely be a thing unless, Virtus Pro puts Cho in the hands of How. It's one of the heroes that can actually answer to the Fanny. Stafa, your wish list, what heroes do you want to see?
And Ruby is still up there.
Still?
For sure. But now that I've known that, okay, Starsoy likes unkillable heroes, we could see assassins. They're known for Angela Alice combination. That could be interesting. Another option, if you want like a unkillable jungler, could be Julian. Right? We saw a lot of that hero beforehand, playing around the enhanced sword, becoming just a pain in the butt to get rid of, especially during the Rose Gold Meteor meta. No longer quite as strong as before, but could be something.
Infinite iframes.
Yep.
One could
I
assume.
hate it.
I know you also do not like healers. There's a certain kind of type lineup you want to see, but healers. Does Kalia count? Is Kalia part of that?
I give a pass to Kalea and Venator because they're kind of, mixed. And I'm actually okay with Angela purely from my own bias because she just heals one person. And I want that person to be me.
Actually, it's not usually the case.
It's
Like
an
when you have
AoE
your
up
hard
front.
waves.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's an AoE up front.
If you
Not
hit
in
the
my
skill
pub
shots,
games.
yeah. Well, again, what rank are you playing on?
Hey, don't,
I'm not gonna reveal that to the world. You guys don't need to know. Top level, right? Top level, right, guys?
Top level gameplay.
My fans watching at home, you guys know, right?
There's a reason why he's a caster.
Yeah,
we'll leave it at that. I personally would like to see Rafaela. Again, cannot be said enough. In the first match today, I was hoping that some way, somehow, either Navi or GG would bring it out. But here, why not? Virtus Pro, please, Terra Queens, do us a solid. Bring out the Rafaela. We've already seen Florin in the wild card. Maybe Kufra. If Fanny is an option, then Kufra, Cho, Moskov.
Ruby.
Yeah, whenever she lands, just stop her in her tracks. Granger still can't catch a break.
No.
Sadly, we have heroes that we want to see. These are some of the heroes I want to see less of. I hate that Granger took an L while Harith got a dub. Like, it doesn't paint the meta game in a good light because we're going left and right here. We're pulling and pushing and pulling and pushing.
Yeah, but there's a certain kind of composition that you want to play around a Granger. I think GG in the previous game actually experimented on that, bringing out the Arlot as well as the Terizla, heroes that were kind of lost in the meta. And so I think both of these two teams, especially for Daisy in Virtus Pro, who is known for a little bit more adaptive play styles, she's able to bring out Benedettas into the mix as well. I think the long-lost burst damage kind of EXP laners has not seen the light of day in a long while. So right now, I think it might be a good time for them to experiment on different kinds of heroes being pulled out
If we're going down that line, besides Ruby, I really miss Paquito.
Paquito brings
I miss Paquito.
a certain amount of burst in the EXP lane that has not been replicated. No, I don't think there's anyone out of the EXP lane that bursts quite as quickly as Paquito.
It's just that he's not bulky enough nowadays, right? When you compare, like, it would be way better to go like Lapu Lapu because he does a good amount of damage, but it's so difficult to kill in return that Paquito is basically relegated to jungle, and even then you're going to have way better options in assassins that have iframes built in. So I'm really sad because Paquito is one of my favorites, and he just has disappeared for so long.
Yeah, Paquito I don't think counts as an assassin, although he does assassinate certain heroes, but one of the
build assassin emblems on him as well.
Yeah, but one of the most prolific times in Paquito's time in the limelight, I think, is when he was punishing Ling.
Yeah,
he was punishing Ling. Ling lands, you're dead.
Yes,
Paquito's hunting you down. If you find the Ling, you're dead. So Ling has been bubbling up. Ling has been around here, behind the Hayabusa, behind the Lancelot.
Yep.
Maybe Paquito just needs to pick up a knife.
I don't think boxing works like that.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Some heroes already have knives.
Exactly, right? You can't bring fist to a knife fight.
Well, we're hoping to see maybe a Benedetta, because if the Enchanter metagame further progresses, then the Benedetta is one of your solid answers.
Definitely works.
Besides
because
Basha.
you have Uranus's, who are always proxying the wave. What other EXP laners to counter this? Not really counter, but to go mano a mano, head to head against this Uranus would be the Esmeralda, the Benedettas, like before. Try to clear up the waves and try to join in the team fights as effectively and fast as possible. So I think this would be some of the things that I'm looking out for, especially from Virtus Pro. Now on the other side of the table, we also see Terra Queens, who have quite a bit of solid pickups and wildcard picks. So we were talking about like the Alduses and the Auluses that were coming into the fray as well. I don't think in this match the jungle might
probably
change.
not.
But with the Harley in question or as an option for Terra Queens, what other interesting jungles might you think you might pick up, especially from Rui?
Well, we've already brought up the Julian as an option.
Paquito
on maybe.
Paquito,
I would love it.
Nolan, I'm wondering why Nolan isn't the thing.
That's true,
'Cause
actually.
Nolan has a modicum of CC immunity.
Actually, Suyo hasn't been picked up as much anymore.
Amazing burst. But yeah, I think I've alluded to Suyo like at least twice or thrice in the wild card, because as long as you know that the magic damage profile from your opponent is clear, no one is as high a utility pick in the jungle as Suyo. He has everything you need. Mobility, damage, sustainability, can steal away major objectives with the Sever Retribution combo.
That's
It's
right.
still like maybe only second to an Appraiser's Wrath or Lethal Counter plus Retribution in terms of mechanical execution. So yeah, no. Where is Suyo?
In the same scheme of it, we haven't really seen Lucas jungle in a long time, right?
We've seen Lucas XP in the wild card, as played by Rare Adam out of the Chinese server. They came close. They were almost going to make it through, but Virtus Pro, not this Virtus Pro, but Virtus Pro men's, knocked them out.
So I'm happy you brought that up, actually. So the men's team actually got in through the qualifiers.
That's
right
right.
now, the MWI women's team has a lot of pressure. Like, hey, the boys are already making it through. You guys have that on us in you to really take it to the top and win out the MWI series, and they do have that gusto in them to make it work.
Yep, they're driven. Again, this is for club points as well, for that club championship. And if I'm not mistaken, Virtus Pro was right about here. Like, they were at least top 8.
Yeah.
In club championship.
There's still a shot.
Points.
Still 2 weeks into the EWC.
And if you ask me, big picture, I think Virtus Pro, this Virtus Pro now, these ladies, I think they can make a top 8 here in the MWI. So that means those points count up towards the club championships. No matter what happens to the men's team in MSC, they're going to be in action like later on in the month. I think Virtus Pro is in a good spot. This is a great way to get that started, because if they do win the series, they're halfway through to qualifying for the knockouts.
It's not going to be easy, though. I think both these teams have already proven that they are capable of standing on an international stage. Both teams actually went completely undefeated in their qualifiers, didn't drop a single game. So they are clearly threats on the international stage. Like you pointed out earlier, neither really feels like they belong in their region. But do they belong here at MWI?
We're about to find out, because, ladies and gentlemen, in just a few, we are jumping into game number 1. The draft is nearly ready. That is a best of 3 delivered by Sdafa and Churros here. We've already talked about the heroes we want to see, and we want to hear from you. Wherever you're watching from, please do put it in the chat. Let us know what heroes you miss and who you think is going to be winning, who you think is going to be taking this down. The first game out of Group C this time, playing out on Stream B. Virtus Pro out of Vietnam or Terra Queens out of Myanmar. Gentlemen, let's do some predictions.
Predictions? Ooh.
I'm going to help you out. No need to put scores.
Honestly, I gotta say, I'm with Virtus Pro on this one. I've seen how they play in the Mekong qualifiers. I've seen also Terra Queens play in the Myanmar qualifiers, and I think Virtus Pro has it in them.
Sdafa?
Well, I mean, if you guys are going to go Virtus Pro, then Terra Queens needs a little bit of support. You know? This is a team that has said that they're going to be the dark horse. And before they went undefeated in the qualifiers, they said, we will be undefeated in the qualifiers. They made reality.
You just gained about 500 Burmese fans just about now.
Hey, follow me.
Ladies and gentlemen, we do apologize. This draft will have to be rebuilt. So do hang on. And this does give me time to give my predictions.
Hot take.
I could have sworn I was going to get away with it. I was just about ready to dip out. Yeah, so Terra Queens.
VP.
I've seen a fair amount of play from both of them.
Yes.
And I think they both have a fair go.
Politically correct answer?
Yeah, no, but I'm going to say it now. Patience, sir. Terra Queens. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 1. The draft is upon us. Coach Destined 1, Coach MSK here at the helm. Sdafa and Churros bring you the action.
Thank you very much, Leo. Very good of you to leave the desk before we can ask you for more details on that, especially after you said Virtus Pro was probably going to be top 8. But we'll catch up with you after game number 1. Virtus Pro on the blue side, Terra Queens on the red. And we're already seeing some very different bans. Haya and Joy being focused down. 2 assassins by VP.
it's a respect over to Rui. They know that Rui is more like an assassin player, so I wouldn't be surprised if Lancelot getting banned out right here would be an option, unless Starso wants to pick it up right from the bat. Now on the other side of the table, you got a Kalia, Baxia, and now that is typically the Uranus spot. If they open it up, it will go over the hands of Virtus Pro, and they have to play around it. Now without the Baxia, the Uranus will be a huge threat.
And getting rid of Baxia here means that Terra Queens probably have to consider banning out the Uranus themselves. I'm trying to think about what else has been let through the draft. The Yisun Shin, the Badang, the Wanwan also, which has been getting a lot of attention, all are wide open. So Terra Queens do still have the option of just leaving it open entirely and playing around with the draft. And it seems like that is what they're doing. They banned the Arlet instead.
You want to go for the 1-1 first pick. We talked about how risky that is. And now for the side of Terra Queens, Uranus hasn't been picked up. And Uranus is typically the first pick, first prior material. It kind of counters a little bit on 1-1. Wherever she hits, he will get that restoration. So in this case, I think there's a lot of options for them. They could pick up the Yusun Shin, Kimi, Uranus for themselves.
Push. Flat visibility.
A little bit more zonal control.
Standard, your life is not eligible for recommendation and restricted in search result.
So not going into the expected result of the Uranus. Although that hero is pretty good, it would actually be kind of difficult to play into a 1-1 correctly played. It's a very easy hero to set up crossbow of Tang on, so I think Terra Queens just wants to avoid that entirely. And by putting Hilda on the table, it puts VP in a tough spot where if you go for an assassin pickup, it is going to be very vulnerable to this hero.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, okay, it is possible for VP to actually pick up the triple marksman meta because you already have to deal with a Hilda, but now it gives a little bit more space. And now the Kimi has been picked up alongside Uranus. That gives a lot of lane proxy approach, but not a lot of crowd control. The only one right now for VP is basically Attraction Pulse from the Kimi itself. And it kind of works well because you have that range to keep yourself a foot from the Hilda whenever she pummels at you. Now to finish up the first stage of that draft with the Earthel, which I like, it keeps both of these lane-to-lane matchups in the gold lane. I would say it's still even Stevens. It is tougher for 1-1 to actually get close to Earthel, and that's how you want to counter it.
Yeah, that's why it's going to be interesting. I think it's a pretty 50-50 matchup. It's not an obvious victory for either gold laner, but Terra Queens do decide to ban out the Angela, which is very interesting because I actually feel like they are in a better position to pick it up for themselves as that force pick.
Angela combo.
Like, literally every hero on this lineup works well with Angela. Irritel, Zusin, Hilda are all very solid. So getting rid of that is interesting. It indicates that they may want more of a roam presence since Hilda has the potential to be countered by this Uranus in lane pressure. The Lance now going to be focused down, so even more priority onto getting rid of Rui's heroes.
I think a lot of assassins are definitely taken off the bat. It's interesting, they banned out the Esmeralda for themselves actually. On top of Uranus, might hint that Uranus could be going into the jungle as well. It has happened in the MSC wild cards, so I'm not gonna rule that out one bit. That last ban slot might be a Ling or a Hanzo has been picked up by Rui as well. I think it might work well against a triple marksman composition as well. Man, Yisun Shin, you want to ban that out for yourself?
I think if it's possible, Virtus Pro would probably want to get the Yisun Shin. It's a little risky since there's a Hilda on the opposite side, but as long as you have a solid enough roamer at the end, it's still possible. But they do decide to get rid of it. So it's unlikely to be a triple marksman because you do need a Yisun Shin to actually make that work. Now we see what Terra Queens will prioritize for their fourth pick.
Lag lagi ke guys? Tak ada dah kan?
They could very well snap pick the Ling up for themselves.
Maneng, live aku. Yang baru masuk selamat datang doh.
Then again, Virtus Pro has ways to deal with assassin jungles because Starfall is a strong assassin player herself. So they might be able to identify and suss out what Terra Queens wants to pick up for themselves. Will be the CC first, try to mitigate a little bit mano-a-mano damage with the Uranus. So to match up that tempo, I think that would be a good pick for now. Virtus Pro, last two picks.
I was thinking it might be good for Terra Queens to keep Hilda flexible and lock in their jungler first, but since they don't know whether or not Uranus is going to be jungle or EXP, I guess they've decided to play it a little safer. But that means that Hilda is going to be locked into the roam position, and VP just makes sure they don't draft a weak early game jungler, and they should be pretty okay. Uranus can actually still go into that position quite well, but Dang going to be locked in. This was a hero that was 100% banned in the first match of the day. Let's see what their final pick is going to be.
Now, left with the Phobius. Okay, so it will be the Uranus in the jungle, Badang in the roam, and then Phobius in EXP. And then you got a double marksman that you can possibly protect. I love how Virtus Pro likes to play things around. A good amount of recovery, a good amount of crowd controls, and a good amount of chase onto the back line. So Irithel and Juicin will be a huge threat into this lineup.
Okay. The Phobius is kind of interesting because that is a hero that actually loses lane to the CC, so you're picking him into the counter actually. But they are anticipating the last pick, Assassin, which in this case does end up being the Ling. I think it is one of the best options that Terra Queens has. A hero that can dive the backline and has a get out of jail free card just in case the crossbow of Tang becomes a threat.
Out of all of this though, I think Virtus Pro is giving us something new, something fresh. Throwing Uranus in the jungle once again. I believe that this is not their first foray into Uranus jungle, but then there comes the question of Uranus actually being a holding on to the Retribution versus holding on to either Revitalize or the Vengeance itself, and that changes how you want to play things, especially in team fights. But then therein also comes where is the Uranus much faster than the Ling in terms of jungle farming, and how impactful is the Uranus within a lot of these objective takes?
Well, we'll get to see the answer to every single one of those questions as we jump into the Land of Dawn for game number 1 of our second match of MWI. Will it be the virtues of Mekong or the terrors of Myanmar that secure victory in game number 1?
Quick little aggression, especially from Ku over onto the jungle side. Starsway needs to try to push her away because there is always that threat of the buff getting stolen, and trying to get back into the battle would be a little bit tougher. You have to pop that Retribution off the bat. Trying to take it away from the hands of Ku, but just giving a little bit more information. But a bottom side, Daisy taking too much damage from the CC, so that shows a little bit more dynamic into how Terra Queens wants to play this very aggressively.
Yeah, that's what we were worried about, right? The Phobius loses lane to CC, so Virtus Pro picking this into the counter matchup is very risky. Loses out EXP lane pressure. Ku gonna try and annoy Starsoy again, but this time Sa is around, and you do not want to mess with a Kimi level 1 and 2. It just creates so much pressure.
And speaking of pressure, Terra Queens are on reconnaissance duty. They're always in Virtus Pro's jungle. Taking a look at optimizations, nothing screams out to me on the top of my head. But now look at where that Uranus is. Starsoy is being pummeled on by the two double fighters in the bottom side.
Still okay though, Uranus is pretty bulky even at this stage of the game, and will definitely have a lot of Radiant stacks built up since the jungle creeps are just gonna be hitting them back. So even a Hilda is not gonna very easily chase Starsoy out of the jungle, and that'll allow Virtus Pro to play for a potential turtle contest as long as they can give a bit of help to the EXP lane.
No level 3 from Cal and Ku as of now. You're able to push that in. A lot of damage down by Cal. Starsoy tries to...
Traction Fall is going to be avoided by Hling. Starsoy still in position. We can see Rui actually picking up another buff. So Ling going to be 1 level up on the Uranus. That should give Terra Queens a potential advantage on Turtle Take. Infernal Pursuit comes in. Cow going to be buying some time as Ku eating up the damage from Daisy, baiting the Phobius away from the rest of the team. Terra Queens taking this very slowly. Daisy now going to be engaged on the Lantern. Pick up on Daisy. Forces the flicker outwards. Rui comes in, does the damage, chases Virtus Pro back into the mid lane, and Terra Queens gain control on the turtle.
That's how they want to play it. Terra Queens has a lot of early game damage. You don't have to have that level 4. Starsoy taking a lot more.
Starsoy might go down here, is able to get away. Rui secures the turtle. Tempest Blaze comes out. 1v3 in the turtle pit as the rest of Terra Queens turn around and pick up the first blood on Cow. Daisy gonna be chased down as well. Double kill over to Rui. And the Purify even forced out. Sa not gonna be able to escape from the terror in the Land of Dawn.
Where everything broke down was that they pushed Starsoy away, and this is where it gets a little bit risky. Yeah, Ku also stole the orange buff away from Starsoy, so that leaves 2 levels behind of Rui. This is not a good start for Virtus Pro, but then again, it is so difficult for Virtus Pro to play this early game because of how well Terra Queens has that damage and that crowd control, especially from the Juice in whenever they come into that clash moment.
You can tell that the draft was played kind of defensive. Cow in trouble again. Ku on top. Oh, that is a lot of damage. Fistcrack comes in, but here comes Rui. Killing spree to the Ling. And now chasing down the purple buff, contesting it away. 3-level difference on the Ling. Looks like Starsoy was still able to secure their purple buff, though.
Hey, Silver Lining. At least you take the purple buff away. Try to claw yourself up on top again as Virtus Pro actually back on that defense. Terra Queens 4 kills to 0, and this shows the amount of aggression that Terra Queens wants to put onto Virtus Pro. They need to be able to draw some more time though. Virtus Pro might be able to play it more safe. Wait till 1-1 or Liv gets online. Wait till Cal gets a little bit of an angle, finds a nice little flank for any team fights. But Rui's already 301. There's a lot of damage from that Ling on the top side though.
Rui wants to pick off Sa. Gonna use the anti-grav thrusters, get away through the back of the purple buff pit. But Terra Queens living up to their name, terrorizing the map, not allowing Virtus to even play on their own half of the jungle.
That's it. I think Virtus Pro early game is in shambles. Look towards that mid game. How do you want to play this? Liv trapped in the middle though, on by 3.
Looks like Terra Queen's not gonna commit to this. They don't really need to. They just zone out. They gain control. Turtle is coming up.
There's not a lot of fight that Virtus Pro can do. Is 3k gold lead up on top for Terra Queens. And giving away this turtle might be the best option here as Virtus Pro don't want to throw bodies. They want to be able to play objective. They want to be able to push and wait till that late game until most of them get to their power spike. Starsoy can't even sustain over the damage coming in from Ku, so that's going to be a huge problem from that. How do you want to play it though? Again,
oh my goodness, Ku. Nearly 1v1ing the jungler as the roam. They're the same level, by the way. That's how far behind Starsoy has been put. 5 minutes into the game, we are looking at a 4k net worth lead. By the way, Sa went for a Sky Piercer first item. I'm not sure I agree with that, considering the state Virtus Pro is in. But hey, you made your bed, now you gotta rest in it.
Yeah, you have that early game rotations, but Terra Queens reading it so well. They're matching that rotations and sending Sikoshi down to deal with the waves, and now the top side T1 is already broken down. This gives a lot of opportunity for Rui to place cross-map plays for a side of Virtus Pro. There's not anyone that you can actually feasibly send at this point to maintain that wave prio. So Virtus Pro sitting ducks for now until maybe the first Lord comes up. But silver lining is that they're very patient. They're playing defensive. They don't want to throw their bodies in the mid side though.
Daisy trying to look for the fight. Infernal Pursuit doing good damage to flicker backwards defensively. Daisy just, no, doesn't get away. Luna Lin has the Sky Piercer. Lantern finishes off the Phobius, and the terror continues in the mid lane as now Starsoy in a little bit of trouble, has to use the ult to get away. They're trying to re-engage, but the curtain call latches 2 together. Starsoy can only eat damage to keep his team alive.
Not a lot of damage so far. There's a problem with the 1-1 pick. You don't deal a lot of damage in the early game. You need to wait till your Trinity build, and this is proving to be a little bit tougher. And for Ku to match that level that Starsoy is at is not where you want to see yourself.
It absolutely isn't. The Uranus jungle should be able to hold things well, but Terra Queens have done such a good job of controlling the map. Purify forced out on Sa again. Cow goes for the flicker and is not able to lock down the Zeus in.
Yeah. Virtus Pro actually sending all their resources to protecting all the crucial buffs that Starsoy actually needs to come online. There is sort of like a crucial moment. Look at the bottom side as well, where Sakoshi's busy handling that
Liv
T2.
is in trouble. Oh my goodness, the Sky Piercer. How many stacks does Luna Lin have? Liv just exploded, and now Cow is gonna be chased down, gonna follow her into the grave. Double kill for Luna Lin. And by the way, Sakoshi got a free tier 2 down bottom this entire time.
it's in shambles. Right now, 7,000 gold lead. Rui's always in question. Is able to burst down Star Sword.
Rui is just diving. Tier 2 diving inhibitor wants to kill Sa. Able to escape just barely. Rui now in some trouble. Doesn't have energy. But the rest of the Terror Queens are here. Ku heals her up with the Revitalize. And the mid tier 2 is being slowly whittled down. Virtus Pro not able to do anything about it.
Even in the defensive position, Virtus Pro might not be able to succumb to the aggression that comes from Terror Queens. They don't really have a lot of high ground defense. The only one that can effectively clear waves might be Kimmy. The 1-1 still not online as of now. They have to build more defensively to try to buy themselves some more time, but Terror Queens not giving them the luxury of time. Still 0 kills from Virtus Pro. They don't have that damage to take anyone down, and they don't have that defense to soak in as much damage.
This composition doesn't allow Virtus to be the one making the initiations. They've lost out lane priority in almost every half of the map. And with them so far behind in EXP and gold, it's very difficult for them to even contest the Hilda, let alone the rest of the Terror Queens. We are 9 minutes in. The gold difference is already 9,000. We are reaching the point of no return.
That's a fat stack and a half, if I could say so myself, as they're trying to get a little bit more silver lining, deal a little bit more damage, try to test the waters a little bit, but this is where things get a little bit more tricky for Virtus Pro. If Terror Queens was able to take that Lord away and take down all of the T3s, that leaves Virtus Pro wide and open. They don't really have a lot of defense.
So he gets picked up, just barely gets away. Tempest Blades also going to be used. Traction Pulse completely whiffs it as Lunalin uses the ult to dash out to safety. Virtus Pro are able to keep their towers alive and everyone still standing, but Terror Queens have complete control of the map and the Lord.
Complete control.
Hello guys, Assalamualaikum.
More of a dominant performance from Terror Queens than it is Virtus Pro.
Sambung.
Just in here for the ride.
Game siapa ni?
And they honestly though, Sadafa, I think Virtus Pro should just look towards that next game. Terror Queens already.
Siapa tengah lawan guys? VP lawan Terror Queens. Mak kena bantai.
Already on the opposite side. Crossbow Tang is available.
Rui
knows that there's no point going
mati.
for a Tempest of Blades.
Dapat pun satu. Oh, Terror Queens yang tengah. Betul tu. Walaupun salah spin, tergelak-gelak member.
You still have 10 more seconds until the Lord spawns up for the side of Terror Queen, so this gives Liv some time to get online and get that respawn. But again, you don't want to make these kinds of risky plays. You built or you have a Ube composition, play towards your team
pembantaian guys, budak-budak Virtus Pro. Baju dah gempak dah, Virtus Pro.
One after another. What a risky play by Liv.
Wow.
It's risky, but it's kind of something they have to try and do. It just didn't pay off for them, and now the lead is going even further. Lord pushing down mid lane for the Terror Queens.
Tapi baju dah gempak kan guys, dah ada Virtus Pro. Loh, adakah satu kill pertama? Tidak sekali. Loh, masuk Tempest of Blade. Ui, ui. Fast hand weh, Rui tu guys. Diorang nak alah mati doh, pecah telur. Kenapa kuat sangat tim ni? Ini tim apa ni? Tim dari mana guys?
This
Vitality ke?
Terror Queens as a team. This was basically a ballistic missile,
macam orang tim Filipin
and targeting the face of Virtus Pro. There was basically nothing they could do.
Oh, Myanmar lah. Oh, jago. Jago guys. Korang tengok tadi dia kutip pedang tadi. Sing 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 sing. Bisa-bisa guys.
You just can't. Sadafa.
Jago serius. Ui. Asal nangis ni?
The emotions running high.
Wih, asal dia nangis doh.
A lot of passion in the game right now. Terror Queens feeling very happy and comfortable about what they've achieved.
Baru game 1 tengok tu, tersentuh sangat tu guys. Sampai nangis member.
Of the damage that has been done. The series is not over, but this might affect their performance going into the next game.
Kena sakit.
I'll say
nangis doh, kena bullying. Period kot.
Definitely
nangis
a lot of emotions running high, especially for Virtus Pro.
Jangan nangis. Ada lagi game kan, baru game 1 kena bantai.
Ways to come back in, but we talk way too much.
Masa kena bantai. Tapi dia tak adalah kena sampai recall ke apa yang nak nangis kan.
But I would love to.
Kalau kena recall faham lah kena dengan Xorn kat situ.
It's true that emotions run high, and this being the opener for Virtus Pro, after everything that has been said, I would understand why there is some disappointment in their own performance. But looking at the lineup, right, starting with the draft, I think it's one thing to say The damage profile is good, especially since there's a solid
Nangis
amount of
tu member.
magic from the
Sedih dia.
Kimmy. There's a solid amount of damage from
Dia
the
macam,
1-1.
what
but
happened though?
Both are relatively conditional.
Yes.
Especially the 1-1. That
Kenapa?
one moment in the
Emosi tu member you.
twilight of the game, I'd say
Guys,
the
nangis guys
last
tadi.
2 minutes,
Jom kita
wherein
replay
they
balik guys.
actually,
Kita
weirdly
replay
enough,
sekali. Kenapa dia nangis?
opener for Virtus Pro
Siapa nama dia yang nangis tu?
Comebacks Pro.
Jom kita tengok muka dia guys. Kita tengok muka dia. Yang nangis ni siapa?
Emotions running high.
Okay, rambut dia yang ni. Rambut dia ni. Korang kenal ke guys?
Running high.
Nama dia siapa?
You can see there's a lot of passion in the game right now. Terra Queen's feeling very, very happy and comfortable.
Time to going on. I think there is definitely.
Ke atas kasta cakap apa?
But you take a couple hits, you can't even. You just can't. Sadafa, man, this.
Nama dia Sa, nama dia Sa. Sa.
Emotions running high.
You can see there's a lot of passion.
Sa, dia main role apa? Jom kita tengok.
They said we would
Sa. Oh, mid lane guys.
be undefeated in the qualifiers.
Mid lane tu.
They made
Kenapa? Kenapa sampai nangis ni? Sebab kan Kimi sedih sangat tu Kimi.
So that shows a little bit more dynamic into how Terra Queens wants to play this. Very aggressive.
Okay, Sa.
That's what we were worried about.
Okay je, Sa.
Right? The Phobius loses lane.
Satu
to
minit pertama
CC,
okay je.
so Virtus Pro picking this into the counter matchup is very risky. Loses out EXP lane pressure.
Tapi nama tim dah gempak dekat Virtus Pro.
Sa is around and you do not want to mess with a Kimmy level 1 and 2. It just creates so much
Tapi baru
pressure.
game 1 dia tak boleh dah emosional sangat. Guys, sampai nangis game kedua.
Double fighters in the bottom side.
Still okay though. Radiant stack allow Virtus to
Apa yang buatkan diorang kena bantai?
one level up on the Uranus.
Tengok sikit turtle diorang. Okay, ada yang nak buat turtle. Okay, hero dulu.
As Ku eating up
Uranus
the damage
jungle.
from Daisy, baiting the Phobius away from the rest of the team. Terra Queen's taking this very slowly. Daisy now going to be engaged on the lantern. Pick
Daisy
up
kena
on
banyak
Daisy, forces the flicker outwards. Very slowly, Daisy now going to be engaged on the lantern. Pick up on Daisy, forces the flicker outwards. Rui comes in, does the damage, chases Virtus Pro back into the mid lane, and Terra Queens gain control on the turtle.
That's how they want to play it. Terra Queens has a lot of early game damage. You don't have to have that level 4. Star Sword taking a lot of
Starsoy might go down here, is able to get away. Rui secures the turtle. Tempest Blaze comes out. 1v3 in the turtle pit as the rest of the turtle here is able to get
early game damage.
Ball.
You don't have to have that level 4. Star
Aduh, member Uranus ni shot sendiri ya.
might go down here, is able to get away. Rui secures the first blood on Cow. Daisy.
Starsoy ni shot sendiri tu main.
away. And this is where it gets a
he
little
stole
bit
it.
risky.
Memang terciduk ah.
She
Who
stole
also
it.
stolen the orange buff away.
Yes, ball. Wah, aku lag ah.
Much stock in the Uranus. They went into this draft believing Uranus jungle will handle the Hilda one-on-one, no problem. That didn't exactly go according to plan. And then if
Penangis,
you need
guys,
someone
member
to help
tadi
the Uranus, it's already
kalah.
kind of bad because Uranus is supposed
Kena
to
bantai.
create space. You're not supposed to have
Favorite
other heroes
chest
create
dari
space for
mana,
the
Syam?
Uranus. And that
Lupa
was
lah
what was
guys.
happening.
You awal lagi nak nangis tu
Even
aku cakap.
worse than that
Kenapa nak nangis
was that
dulu?
they
Belum
didn't have any heroes
series
who
tak habis
create that
lagi.
space, 'cause Badang can't do anything to Hilda early
Virtus
on.
Pro.
And the Phobius was
Virtus
losing
Pro dari
lane.
tim mana?
They put it into a losing matchup.
Yeah.
MWI.
It's a combination of these
Wikipedia.
factors that made a bad situation worse
Mari
for
kita tengok,
Virtus
guys.
Pro. And for Terra Queens, again, even if they did end up playing a Roam Hilda, which is again less than ideal most times, the fact that Virtus Pro did have solid ground to stand on made it
Daripada
passable, made it even excellent
Vietnam,
in
guys.
some cases.
Yeah.
Virtus Pro daripada Vietnam.
From the first
Mekong qualifier. Dia lawan
Hilda as well as the CC.
Flying Rina.
Starsoy ni orang Indo. Liv ni pun orang Indo.
Flying Rina. She was flying last year. And we know her as such, we loved her, but she's like Flying Rina now.
Sah ni dah lama main.
They predicted where Uranus was because there's two options they can go for with the
Apa
Uranus.
tu dapat?
They
Sah ni dah main lama dah guys.
bids into the orange buff where Starsoy actually
Ball.
was in the jungle.
She struggled minute one.
Struggled minute one. You see Ku immediately making a
Thank
beeline for
you.
orange buff, trying to roll that dice, and they actually hit the nail on
Dia kalah
the
dengan siapa
spot.
Tolong siapa
Yes,
I mean, the thing about Hilda though is that you don't really have to predict where your opponent is because you're following them the entire time.
Yeah, no, but the
still,
opener.
Terra Queens. Diorang lawan Myanmar.
What impressed Churros like?
Yes.
Rui
what
ni
if
pun orang
they
jungle.
did not do that?
What if they did not do that, and they're just wasting their time? At least the CC was proxying a wave and pushing Phobius away because in the early game, CC.
Lepak.
wave and pushing your Phobia's away because in the early game, CC has a lot of damage. Purple buff, but then it's much better if it's in the orange buff. I think Star Sword just read it a little bit wrong for how they want to play this.
So what you're saying basically is that if Star Sword had started on purple instead,
it might be a different story.
It might be a different game.
Or the other way around, if Flying Rina and Ku went to the purple and read the rotation
from
there.
MPL
So
M1.
it was again, it was a destiny. It was serendipity for these two
stars aligned.
Yeah, these two major decisions in the early game, the opener of this game 1, to lead to this. But again, that could have been just amplifying the fact that maybe Virtus Pro weren't in any good shape to take those kinds of fights anyways. You know, like the whole compromising the Uranus to start. It's a huge thing. It's a game changer, yes, but what would they have done with that extra space? Like, would they have done better if, let's say, Starsoy had a good 5 minutes in? Because again, you're right. What do you do with that space?
Yeah.
Even if you do make space, Terra Queens picked up the perfect hero to use that space.
Yeah.
The Ling, like, if you do get space, then the Ling just goes away.
Yeah, and taking a look at some of the replays as well. Remember where Cal was when, you know, the Ku was in the orange buff and the orange buff was in shambles. Cal was actually walking up from that purple buff, so she was actually giving vision onto where the buff was, and this was the one where Liv was trying to use Inspire to get away.
Assalamualaikum. Assalamualaikum. Waalaikumsalam.
From the rest of the team, and I think that was the whole breakdown in communication issue that Leo, you talked about.
Yeah, well, what could have the decision have been made, right? Like, I'm going to bait them away from y'all. No, you shouldn't. You're the gold laner. That's an argument you should be having. But alas, it still happened. It's still what we ended up with. And the reason why we're so fixated on these small things is because the rest of Terra Queens basically had a free game. I saw Lunalyn, believe it or not, her first real item was a Sky Piercer.
Yes.
Wasn't even the glowing one, wasn't even the boot. Maybe she had boots, I don't know, but elegant gem, like that cooldown book, and then Sky Piercer. That's how well
Virtus di Vietnam, betul. Dan dia tengah lawan ni Myanmar, guys.
I think I have to also commentate on the item build on the opposite side, right? Sa on the Kimmy went Sky Piercer first item, even though they were in such a bad position.
Yep.
And then the second item was concentrated energy.
That's ballin' before you got red covered.
Jangan ambil tu, letak balik.
Why is that the play? You need to be building damage, even when weakness finder. Right? You're not meant for utility.
I understand where she's coming from, though. Like, I mean, if Sky Piercer is part of your build arsenal, you want to build it earlier on because you only have like 1,500 gold that you need to actually activate that Sky Piercer. So, I mean, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Just get it and try to build other things. If it doesn't work out in the late game, then you sell it off. So I think, yeah, it kind of worked out
this
better
Matilda, so they're really looking at Navi PH playing more utility. What are your thoughts on this, Chantal? Do you think that this is a very good Matilda ban?
Yeah, I think first came out and she was being used as an aggressor. She was being used as a vision play, but now she's being used as a vision control and of course a sort of like a crowd control setup and a hunter.
Yeah, I think it's
the MWI at EWC 2025 dan Navi Philippines dan juga CFU Gaming, mereka telah bersiap, mereka telah memulai drafting phase-nya. Inilah dia game pertama.
Competing at the highest level of MLBB.
Gak sabar tentunya ngelihat apa yang akan dibawa kedua coach ini.
Sabar Gon. Tenang.
Oke. Dan ya, King, Salman dan juga coach Tango ini apa yang akan dibawakan ya? Matilda, Kimi dan juga Farsa, Om.
Ya, masih tempo sama kan. Seperti match yang pertama juga, ini adalah hero-hero yang memang masih masuk ke dalam power meta ya. Mungkin kecuali dari Matilda yang biasanya memang ada yang melepaskan. Tapi Yusun Shin, akhirnya perdana kita melihat juga terlepas. Dan sering kita bahas bahwa dari dua jungler ini adalah dua jungler assassin ya. Jadi harusnya ini Yusun Shin adalah pegangan untuk jungler mereka juga.
Udah langsung nih, akhirnya terlepas dan mereka langsung ambil. Tapi kalau dari segi draftnya ini Om, memangnya lagi meta banget.
Misalnya iya, dan ini kalau cutiannya nggak diambil dengan Navi, harusnya misalnya iya, dan ini kalau cutiannya nggak diambil dengan Navi, harusnya diambil. Jadi itu memang ada kombinasi sih dari dua hero itu ya.
Langsung terang banget ya kalau ada Yusun Shin ditambah dengan cutian.
Karena Yusun Shin dengan Mountain Shocker yang baru itu butuh sesuatu untuk bisa buat musuhnya di tengah dulu diem. Biar enak kan lemparnya. Nah itu kombinasinya dengan Cetian udah paling enak.
Jadi kayaknya mereka ngebagi lah ya, Setian, lo ambil ISS, gue ambil Setian, nah bisa dibilang kayak gitu. Jadi at least ada sama-sama efek
ya mereka tahu juga lah, pasti CFU juga tahu, pasti setnya diambil, sama-sama mapnya ada sedikit terang. CFU, kalau udah kayak gini mereka harus ngamanin mid laner juga nggak sih? Nah kalau nggak nanti habisin nanti di fase yang kedua. Sushin yang diambil.
Chusin dan juga Hilda ya. Hilda ini lebih ke kompensasi agar lawan tidak menggunakan assassin.
Antisipasi dulu.
Antisipasi aja di awal.
Di save dulu, ayo masih berani.
Ya, lumayan nakut-nakutin kan. Kalau enggak ya, kalau memang bukan assassin bisa digeser menuju ke EXP lane.
Tapi lo lebih suka EXP atau dari jadi ROM?
Aku lebih suka di EXP, cepet buat mobilitasnya dia.
Cepat
buat tim fight. Tapi sebenarnya lebih fleksibelnya tuh di ROM. Lebih bagusnya sih.
Betul, karena benar-benar semua orang bakal jadi takut ya kalau di ROM ya. Tapi kayaknya nggak perlu takut karena dari Navi Philippines mereka langsung menjawab dengan hero tanknya.
Fredrin.
Halo Dato' Syah, malu.
Kalau bicara soal farming speed, Fredrin pasti ada ya di bawah Lisan Shin. Levelnya pasti bisa tertinggal juga. Cuman dia tanky banget dan
maghrib guys.
Level buat Fredrin selama mereka
suara
bagus, tim fightnya mereka rapi.
Aman gak sih?
Tetap masih bisa menang nanti buat tim fight.
Bisa kalau cari-cari trading tetap, apalagi banyak setupper, ada Arlot juga yang crowd controlnya bisa
Citok laju lagi lah.
Crowd control dari Fredrin sendiri juga kadang-kadang kalau kena 2, kena 3 itu juga bisa menjadi playmaker. Jadi sebenarnya dari sisi crowd control ini cukup, dari sisi Navi yang kurang mestinya diambil nih hero-heronya dari CFU nanti second.
Apa itu?
Ya, terus untuk membuka Fredrin juga.
Papa tak ada ni lah, Nina. Papa tak ada sikat lah.
Mereka Chusin loh. Ini lantern flare-nya pasti mengganggu banget.
Dilempar mulu nih.
Bisa kelempar-lempar, Arlot juga nanti bisa kena dengan lantern flare, Crimson Beacon bisa buat escape. Jadi itu yang menjadi sumber masalah nanti nih buat Navi-nya. Dan last ban CFU kemungkinan besar kita bisa melihat kalau bukan flash ya, ini Esmeralda bisa di-ban dengan CFU. Karena ya sekali lagi banyaknya hero-hero yang bisa nge-regen.
Oke, ini bisa nggak ya? Karena Navi juga pasti bisa lah ya. Oke.
Navi PH kuat ke Zon? Navi PH tak tahu. Aku baru tengok nih game dia dorang.
Ban Esme.
Tapi rasanya macam kuat guys.
Wah kalau Badang
antara Esme Hylos ini. Karena dua-duanya hero tebal juga, Hisham lumayan sulit buat bisa nabrak hero seperti itu.
Kalau mereka Badang cukup damage tetap Om ya untuk Navi ya kalau mereka ngambil Badang.
Sebenarnya Navi lebih butuh 1 damage jadi XP lagi sih, yaitu Esmeralda.
Oke ya, kalau Esmeralda harus di-ban sih.
Kalau memang mau di-ban karena Lapus sudah di-ban kan.
Karena itu lumayan balance. Tanky iya, dan damage juga sakit.
Esme juga bisa menanggulangi Hilda kalau di landingnya dia. Tapi Khalid ternyata, wow. Alright, roamer Khalid kah yang lebih di-expect? Karena sebenarnya Esmeralda bisa buat Hilda, ada shield dari Hilda bisa diambil terus-terusan juga. Sustain di lane. Kita sudah sempat melihat Don ngebawa ini babak wildcard.
Ya, dan itu kita lihat Esmeralda benar-benar menjadi satu kuncian. Berarti dengan kebukanya kayak gini,
opsi sebenarnya.
Itu apa?
Sebenarnya ada opsi sih kalau mau bawain Esmeralda juga is oke buat Navi sekarang ya. Tapi ya mereka punya 3 hero badan dan 3 hero badan ini adalah musuhnya dia di sebelah kiri, Chusin. Nah itu yang buat sulit kan sekarang ada Chusin.
Bisa
King Salman, Timago
orang dan menghilangkan momentum sebenarnya Zushin ini ya. Cuman kalau aku ngeliat juga ya
CFU main Chaishi first pick.
Buru-buru.
Alok Zishin. Combo terus nih guys.
Nambahin lagi malah.
Alok EXP.
Ini nambahin lagi crowd.
Dorang pakai handphone apa ya guys?
Iya, tapi aku jadi penasaran.
Korang tahu tak? Dorang pakai handphone apa?
Nge-burst ya. Berarti ada 2 opsi nih, antara Kari atau Beatrix. Karena itu untuk lebih secure aja di tengah-tengah efek-efek pick off yang bisa dimainkan. Karena mereka sudah punya Fredrin, Arlot juga ada. Terus si Cetian ini bukan tipikal mage yang bisa langsung burst.
Itu dia.
Mana Fafau? Fafau udah main tadi. Ini Navi lain guys.
Mirip-mirip ada Cetian.
Ini bukan Navi yang kita tengok tadi tu. Tadi Navi Malaysia kan. Ini Navi Filipina. Ada 2 Navi katanya.
Lebih nyambung sih draftnya. CFU dulu sih.
Langsung totalitas.
Kita tengok drafting kan.
Hero terakhir.
Kalau korang tanya aku, draft daripada tim Navi.
Mereka kalau mau war enak
memang
banget.
pure combo lah. Banyak gila combo guys. Kira Alok ni tipu lah tak dapat main macam Lancelot.
Aman banget. Kalau mau dipakai.
Tapi kalau untuk CFU kan sedap juga guys.
Ya,
draft dia.
buat kaliannya. Ada flank tackle untuk menghindar, ada purifier nanti
si Fredin susah nih nak main ni.
Navi kekuatannya ada di Shinoa sekarang. Sang MVP.
So,
Kari.
gameplay CFU game ini akan seperti apa?
Testing mic 1, 2, 3.
Agresif dari awal Hilda.
Agresif dari awal. Kalau dari Navi gimana Gon?
Kalau aku ngelihat mereka akan lebih nabrak-nabrak, tapi dengan adanya Tigreal jadi harus hati-hati nih. Momentum breaker bisa dibilang.
Kalau si FU.
Navi bisa dibilang harus
Yo.
pasti mereka all in.
Oke, tapi ini akan menjadi permainan yang sepertinya akan jadi tabrak-tabrakan. Dan gimana para caster yang telah bersiap di sana, yang suaranya ganteng banget melihat draft ini?
Siapa yang mau ditabrak sih Bude? Siapa yang mau ditabrak?
Kita ngelihat.
Baik, bagaimana dengan kalian?
Baik banget, dan Bude,
Keren.
apakah kita bisa take over?
Gas!
Thank you so much Bude, Clara Monster, Wawa dan juga Johnny di sana. Tanpa berlama-lama
Oke guys, sekarang tak kuat sangat Eng.
Woman Invitational EWC. Let's go to the land of dawn bersama dengan Ranger Mas dan juga partner saya yang terlihat sangat rapi hari ini.
Lem kocok, awal rapi pokoknya.
Masuk pause. Tak, sekarang nih Eng.
Mungkin kita ngelanjutin pembahasan.
MWI banyak sangat pause dari tadi tu.
Yes, boleh.
Macam mana
Kira-kira lu lebih ke mana? CFU?
Gua sebenarnya kalau ngomongin dari draft ini, gue suka banget sama draftingnya dari CFU.
Wah,
kenapa? Pertama Insansin untuk the late game, mereka punya early-nya, punya Bruno, mereka punya Hildanya juga untuk ganggu ke arah jungler tanker mereka. Tapi
ini dengar ke?
Late game entah mengapa ngomongin ke arah Kari ya, Kari sama Kalia ini bisa menjadi dua kombinasi yang sangat manis.
Ya, siapapun bisa dimakan ya.
Siapapun.
Tapi gue lebih suka draft Navi PH ya. Karena ngeliat dari Arlot Fredrin itu satu kombinasi yang bagus banget. Terus di late game mereka bisa pick off dengan Kari, dengan Kalea, dan itu juga Zetian. Nah,
cantik dah rambut awak ni Nena.
Zetian ini minusnya adalah dia lumayan manja sebagai mid laner. Dia perlu kalau memang mau difungsikan secara maksimal ya. Kalau memang mau difungsikan secara maksimal.
Betul.
Harus ditemenin dalam artian ya clearnya sebenarnya nggak perlu temenin nggak apa-apa, tapi jalan setelah clearnya mungkin mau rotasi invade ke jungle, mau rotasi untuk ke arah top lane atau bottom lane, itu harus dibukain jalannya.
Tapi kalau ngomong dibukain
juga tuh
sekarang dia juga dari awal sebenarnya juga udah harus kasih sedikit pressure.
Harus dia menang range.
Dia tekanan dan demi tekanan. Dan kalau misalnya kita bisa bicara gimana cara dia melakukan rotasi ini juga cukup penting.
Itu makanya harus ada yang buka. Nah, Kalea menurut gue salah satu hero yang lumayan cocok. Kalea, Chow, hero-hero yang lumayan agresif di awal kan. Dia punya damage. Jadi seandainya Kaleanya jalan dan tiba-tiba dipotong jalannya, itu Chow atau Kalea itu bisa cover, bahkan bisa dapetin point kill karena keduanya punya damage. Walaupun memang terakhir Kalea udah kena nerf ya dari pasifnya ya. Tapi nggak sesignifikan itu kok. Memang kalau untuk romer kayaknya damage masih Chow Khalid kali ya yang menjadi primadonanya.
Wah, itu sih. Apalagi gue kan salah satu pemain Chow juga, dimana gue favorite banget sama Chow.
Benar.
Jadi memang gue pengen mungkin ada nggak sih player-player berbakat seperti yang bermain Chow di kondisi saat ini.
Bener sih, Chow OG jadi FYI OG itu ya memang dia sangat membantu ketika menggunakan Chow. Membantu lawannya.
Loh, yang penting apa?
Membantu.
Ya, ujungnya yang penting membantu. Tapi ini kita akan balik lagi ke lane of down. Dan dengan adanya Tigreal yang akan bisa mengatasi sedikit counter dari Kalea kalau di saat yang tepat, karena beberapa waktu
Zon, jadi tak next year franchise
benar-benar tercounter kalau ada Tigreal.
Saya pun tak tahu.
Tapi ya dari Casey ini gue
let's go, kita dah masuk game pertama.
Karena di turnamen terakhirnya pun dia masih tetap gunain Julian walaupun udah ada banyak
guys, orang kat YT tak double lah suara. YT double ke?
Itu belum dipakai, tapi sekarang rivernya ini harus dikuasai.
Ada yang sedikit terknock up kali ini. Klim kita lihat di arah
tak double lane.
Knockback.
Oh iya.
Lockdown kali ya.
Iya, lockdown.
Cuman ya.
What up Zon, what up?
Dari emblem.
Woi, catat guys, catat emblem.
Damage di turn pertamanya. Entah itu Trill, tapi Rupture pun menurut gue masih fine sih. Masih pendek kan nambah damage juga intinya.
Tapi kalau ngelihat di arah God lane, gue suka banget intensitas mereka sih. Apalagi si Noah kita tahu salah satu MVP ya.
Katanya Navi Filipina kuat guys.
Ini benar-benar tidak mau.
Filipina antara dua tim ke?
Menunjukkan sedikit kekalahan sama
Filipina dua slot
Dia pengen
sebab dia champion
Tapi ngomongin ke arah Arlot, sekarang
betul
gimana caranya Arlot ini bakal bisa
CFU bukan Filipina guys, CFU daripada Kamboja.
Untuk mereka.
Di skip Fredrin Gue pikir dia mau coba untuk poke kill dia aja nggak sih? Mereka Freddy Arnold loh, maksudnya kayak 2-3
Hati-hati, kuat sangat tu Nina.
Kings ada password juga di sini kondisinya. Itu dia. Dan tapi kalau misalnya yang aku lihat adalah mereka lebih fokus menuju ke arah.
PH hantar 2. Oh, sebab dia orang champion kan hari tu.
Ini akan menjadi
Yang champion tim ni ke? Navi Filipin ke? Ke tim Liquid tu?
Pergerakan dari Tegami.
So maknanya dua-dua ni game best lah guys. CFU ni boleh main ni.
Kayak seakan-akan dia akan kasih
Ni game best ni. CFU lawan Navi Filipin ni. Tak ada berat sebelah.
Ini dia sudah berada di level 4 seperti yang sudah kita nanti.
Siapa yang champion hari tu Yang Filipin? Tim TLPH ke Navi Filipin ni?
Terhadap sosok Hisham sini nggak mungkin melakukan respon karena top lane.
Aduh, Hisham dia tak counter, jangan lah. Mati ni. Bagi je. Tak sempat. Okay, diorang cuba. Adakah diorang nak try hero? Wah, aku dah cakap dah alot guys. Tamang pemain nak 5 orang weh kat sini. Bruno je kat sini first blood dapat. Tapi carry spam ulti kat bawah tu. No.
Atas point kill mereka.
Iya, bahkan Bruno.
Okay. Navi
ikut hadir.
Navi yang champion Wah, ini yang paling kuat ni Navi ni.
Bantu memberikan sedikit damage walaupun memang belum terlalu sakit ya.
Dah.
Tetap aja sih hadirnya Bruno ini membuat jadi jumlah mereka unggul.
SRG ladies tak ada ke Syam? Tak ada.
Dan ini keunggulan yang sangat-sangat manis.
Belum buat lagi.
Itu dia.
Okay, YT, alright.
Ya memang ternyata nggak dapat, tapi ya mereka menunjukkan kalau ada jungle juga.
Ni game best ni guys, kalau korang nak tahu. Navi Filipin ni champion tau last season.
Tapi ya,
ni kalau CFU Gaming dapat menang ni.
Karena dia bisa
dah baru Dah apa-apa dah nak. Okay.
Kita menyaksikan
dah dapat Hisham ni. Dia main meta Freddy now guys.
Mereka juga terlalu sedikit bermain dengan agak cukup pasif
ya.
Agak cukup berbeda dengan Navi.
Dapat dekat Kishi.
Karena pertama mereka punya scaling damage yang masih belum cukup mumpuni untuk compete dengan pick off.
Laju dulu farming lagi.
Iya. Karena di awal juga emang nggak ada burst kan. Mungkin kalau nanti udah jadi 2 item mungkin ya minimal 2 item bagi Sinoa. Gua rasa udah mulai diajak nih. Karena nggak ada lagi burstnya selain Sinoa.
Komen aku tak naik ke? Ada je.
Sementara Death River-nya harus dikuasai.
Kenapa?
Itu dia minusnya Zetian.
Oke.
Wah, mati 2-3 nya. Tak sempat ulti. Meninggal terus.
Berbanding terbalik kotoran
yang dimiliki kalau ulti flicker ni dengan alot ni. Wah, alot tak ada ulti lagi tadi. Nasib baik. Zon tak live ke? Soalan apa ni jam?
Mereka regroup sebelum Turtle muncul. Mereka 5 mid.
Kenapa aku suka dapat soalan macam ni
Tadi live aku juga datang dan dia dapatnya 1 point kill. Sebenarnya bagus sih. Tapi ya karena momennya pas banget sebelum Turtle itu akan berpengaruh. Sementara Mus
Navi Filipin ni kuat guys. Aku rasa memang menang Navi ya. Pandai ada orang main. Tengok saya tak ada orang. Cantik ya.
Mau dapetin keuntungan bukan hanya dengan point kill. Tapi di balik itu semua
slow sikit sound. Suara Indo kuat sangat Caster. Tu korang tengok tu. Dapat 2. Boleh mati dia. Boleh kena burst ni. Oh nice. Retri turtle. Ya Allah Tegami. Tegami kick doh. Tapi baru mati kok. Menang Navi ni.
Dan juga para kawan-kawan dari Navi Philippines. Mereka mendapatkan keuntungan.
Sekarang okey sekarang. Aku slowkan sikit.
Yang sudah dipop oleh Yui. Ini akan menandakan ganking akan terjadi.
Flicker
jangan main ni Secret Hammer Flicker terlalu sia-sia ketimbang mereka keluarkan untuk implosion tadinya.
Itu dia. Mungkin tadi miskalkulasi dari range-nya.
Salam Zon, next season tim mana? Ke pensi? Waalaikumsalam.
Sekarang lihat tarotnya.
Rahsia guys. Hal-hal personal rahsia.
Flicker yang terbuang, belum lagi dengan adanya tarot yang tetap hancur.
3 dia buat keyboard ke tadi? Aduh, tak nampak doh.
Mereka hadir di waktu yang betul-betul tepat dan targeting
CFU Gaming
miss lagi.
Susah ni nak buat ni.
Tapi karena mereka udah
dapat ulti. Nice. Purify cok.
Mungkin kalau tadi ada
Purify dia 7.
Ini kasusnya akan berbeda, Lin.
725.
Secret Hammer lagi.
725 Purify dia.
Tapi CFU seakan-akan mereka lupa.
Ngam Syam guys, korang yang baru masuk selamat datang guys. Ini game best kalau untuk pengetahuan korang. Navi Filipin ni adalah tim yang champion last season guys. MSC. So korang kena tengok gameplay champion ni guys.
Tapi gerakan mereka tuh agresif sekali. Seakan-akan mereka udah punya semua yang mereka butuhkan.
Korang tengok gameplay champion macam mana.
Navi PH sadar kalau itu bisa dipakai.
Careful Nena. Look. This one is dangerous, okay? Careful. Dangerous. It's dangerous.
Kekalahan mereka di team fight yang sebelumnya, mereka udah mulai full dominasi.
Apalagi kita lihat dari ngomongin seorang Kari yang punya gold melimpah.
Beda 1000.
Kick 2-3 reel dia.
Ya memang sih Karinya juga tadi lumayan aman.
Biasalah.
Farming. Tugas Hero Trinity.
Itu je paling power guys dekat Kemboja, dia je yang paling power.
Apalagi ngelihat dari
Nena, this one cannot play. No. Put it back. No. Pergi keluar. Jangan main sini lah. Mati. Mati. Agresif banget guys. Apa terjadi? Aduh, aku tengok anak aku tadi.
Mereka sudah tahu dengan adanya
apa jadi guys?
Memiliki implosion, kenapa harus diambil?
Asal Xorn react lagi cepat dari game.
Coba untuk ngebalikin padahal.
Dia tak ingat Fitri.
Dari Not Ayanami yang tadi.
Oh Fitri, jap sebab aku tengok kat TikTok laju sikit. Ni aku laju kan
Itu udah berat. Dan jangan lupa ya.
Kita dah tengok sama laju tak.
Memang ada di early
sekarang dekat TikTok aku 739.
Akan semakin
macam ni.
Belum lagi mereka punya Bruno.
Piala apa ni Syam? Piala EWC guys.
Sangat kuat. Haskell udah jadi Berserker Fury sebentar.
Piala e-sport World Cup
juga dari
MWI.
Sementara kalau kita lihat dari Sinoa juga menuju ke item ketiga sih.
Dah sama dah.
Oke. Cuma pick off-nya ini harus benar-benar targeting. Dan gue rasa Tiger salah satu
Fredin punya dash kalau tembus dinding lagi best. Memang tembus dash ya guys. Tembus dinding ah. Nice. Dapat satu Fredrin. Oh, mau walot tu. Alot tu. Alot. Lagi galot.
Oponen mereka yang memiliki damage sangat besar.
Tapi bagi saingan lah guys. CFU bagi aku bagi saingan lah dekat Navi ni. Even though macam ni kan. Even though Navi ni adalah tim yang champion betul ke dia champion?
Tapi kadang bisa jadi masalah serius juga.
Tengok je.
Coba untuk makan ke arah merah ya. Iya, memang merahnya tumbang. Tapi itu semua temennya deket banget sih. Teman-teman dari Navi PH yang siap untuk melakukan kontes balik. Final Slash on point sekali. Yu yang kena terlebih dahulu lagi dengan spell Purify. Gue rasa emang gak bakal bisa terus. Tapi
Motivate tambahan dia batu main damage yang terlalu besar dikeluarkan. Tapi lihat Tsunami Slam tanpa ada damage. Menandakan tidak ada berbalik ke damage untuk keran yang dikeluarkan oleh Navi Philippines. Navi Philippines, mereka barter dengan hanya point kill tanpa adanya yang bisa di take over dari tim CFU. Dan satu lagi Lin, damage-nya kurang kalau tidak ada Kari. Dan mereka udah mulai harus memikirkan Kari ini tidak boleh ditinggalkan dari kesatuan tim fight mereka.
Setuju banget sih. Harus diajak main lah bisa dibilang ya. Dan nggak boleh ditinggal juga sih. 3-2 tuh udah kayak solusi terbaik sekarang. Mereka nggak punya, sama-sama nggak punya hero untuk manjangin lane. Mungkin dari CFU punya lah Hilda salah satu yang lumayan bisa. Movement speed dia cepat. Untuk kembali ke laningnya itu udah bisa dibilang oke. Tapi ada informasi juga Bruno yang ada di bawah membuat Lord akan dipegang. Dan slot akan terjadi. Sementara vision yang kebuka, Moshi akan ngebuka duluan di bagian depan.
Alright, bahkan di depan sana Moshi. Jangan lupakan kalau mereka terlalu terdistract dengan adanya Moshi, ini akan menjadi bencana. Kenapa dari tadi Moshi targetnya ke Sinoa? Moshi nabrak siapapun di depan sana. Walaupun ini Hilda dengan damage yang seadanya.
Navi menang ke tadi? Menang. Navi Malaysia menang tadi. Aku tengah research pasal Navi Filipin ni.
Seperti Kari itu akan berasa.
Diorang ni champion ke lah season
Gue pastikan Hildanya akan useless banget ketika ke dirinya. Tapi implosion akan dikeluarkan. Implosion! What the implosion mendapatin banyak banget. Tapi lihat Sinoa-nya free hit di belakang sana membuat termas dari tim Navi Philippines. Double kill. Sinoa yang sudah kita sampaikan sebelumnya harus diajak main. Dan terbukti dengan damage yang terlalu besar tidak bisa dihentikan oleh tim CFU Gaming. Bahkan dengan implosion yang
diorang menang qualifier SEA Games tu. SEA Games perempuan pun diorang dapat tu. Yang ni guys
sangat-sangat kurang. Sementara Lord sekarang bisa diambil oleh Navi PS, tidak berhenti di sana karena mereka coba untuk bait.
Betul lah tu.
Dari Bastard di bagian top lane.
Tim ni kuat lah guys, Navi Filipin ni. Diorang ni wakil SEA Games Malaysia tau.
Kedorong terus.
SEA Games Malaysia, SEA Games Filipin diorang pun dapat. Navi Filipin ni guys.
Ataupun sama Yui juga.
So maknanya ni yang paling kuat lah guys. Paling kuat dekat Filipin.
Yang udah jadi 3.
Bukan paling kuat dekat Filipin. Hari tu pun diorang champion dah EWC. Lagi. Sikit lagi. Sikit lagi 3 dia. Mak kau bodoh. Tegami. Gila dah everybody dah dekat dalam tu.
Dari tim Navi Philippines. Ini bukan
Ratu.
Tepakan. Ini bencana. Looking for engine. Fokus ke base-nya.
Hero dulu.
Dan Navi
Hero dulu.
membalikan kembali ke
Nah, dapatkan hero dulu. Rata.
Wow, cukup mengagetkan tadi. Trashless dari
Gila.
Tegami
Macam
ke
tu je,
arah
guys.
depan, menukarkan dengan
Macam
1
mana tu?
point kill saja. Kaget
Sian
melihat
Tigreal
namun
fusi
itulah yang
tahan dia.
terjadi. CFU Gaming.
Tigreal je macam
Mereka
mana,
pegang
guys?
kendalinya terus mereka lepas sendiri karena
Kau dah start EWC. Aduh, ingat belum start ya Eden. Tapi ni yang kita tengah tengok ni perempuan punya, guys. Dah start dah tapi yang perempuan punya.
ada yang eksekusi sama aja.
Lelaki belum start lagi. Lelaki 23.
Sementara sebaliknya nih dari Navi PH, mereka juga tahu nih mereka akan kalah dari segi crowd control.
Guys, aku nak pergi solat maghrib jap. Nanti kita datang balik.
Banyak sekali
Tim ni kalau korang tahu, fun fact Navi Philippines ni yang korang tengah tengok ni, ini adalah tim champion last season, guys. Tim ni champion last season dekat EWC. Dia kalahkan tim Indonesia, guys, yang vitality tu, yang paling kuat tu. Dia kalahkan. So ini adalah tim yang korang patut tengok untuk MWI ni.
Kehilangan Tartar tapi dia memilih.
Aku pergi solat jap.
Itu mereka nggak expect. Ngomongin ke arah deal damage itu sebenarnya nggak cukup. Tapi karena targeting yang bagus banget antara sosok dari Tegami dan juga Hildanya, Sinoa bahkan udah nggak disalah untuk pulang.
Betul-betul.
Sebenarnya di situ satu kesempatan yang bisa dielaborate dan bisa dikembangkan lagi. Tapi sayangnya Navi Philippines kayaknya udah mulai sadar. Tim CFU ini nggak bisa mereka anggap remah. Mereka nggak bisa ngasih kelonggaran sedikit pun.
Iya. Itu gue lumayan setuju sih. Karena balik lagi nih, setup mereka tadi lumayan bagus. Implosionnya, belum lagi dengan defensif mereka ketika di awal mereka harus berhadapan dengan Arnold, dengan Freadrin. Berat banget kan pastinya.
Betul.
Tapi ya mereka bisa survive gitu sampai mid game yang dimana space dari Tegami malah gede banget. Pertukaran dari Turtle yang tukar first blood tadi gue suka banget itu.
Iya.
Itu gerakan-gerakan yang mungkin ya bisa jadi salah satu kunci dari awalnya.
Iya, dan bahkan jarang banget mereka menggunakan gerakan tersebut. Kenapa? Karena emang tidak ada damage dari awal, Elin. Tapi Bude Monster, halo. Apakah sudah masuk Bude Monster?
Yap.
Oke, Bude Monster, ini keseruan di game tadi. Dan mungkin highlightnya akan coba dibedah oleh Bude Monster dan kawan-kawan. Silakan Bude Monster, take it away.
Iya, tadi adalah highlight momen-momen di mana yang sangat berharga. Di mana di game tadi sulit untuk bernapas. Karena keduanya punya potensi yang sangat besar untuk memenangkan game yang pertama.
Sebenarnya kalau kita ngelihat early game-nya cukup low tempo. Bisa dibilang 5 menit pertama, 6 menit pertama.
Cuma 3-4 point kill.
Iya. Nggak terlalu ini ya, nggak terlalu bug asarnya untuk dari sisi action. Cuman masuk mid game, mereka sadar mid game power spike-nya udah dari Sinoa-nya, udah 3 item. Dari dari CFU juga udah oke, online, dan mereka udah mulai cari action. Dan tampaknya secara fight masih lebih tajam dan lebih rapih eksekusinya dari sisi Navi.
Oke, kita mungkin bakal langsung nge-breakdown dari early game-nya dulu yang kita pikir akan menjadi bug gaming, semuanya akan menjadi agresif. Ternyata dari segi point kill tidak seperti itu. Mereka berhasil disengage kah? Atau memang ada penyebab gimana early game-nya nggak seagresif yang kita bayangkan?
Sebenarnya lebih ke bisa ditahan tadi ya dengan Navi juga, dimana untuk barisan mereka sendiri tadi kan mereka punya badan yang banyak, di cover juga dengan adanya Cetian. Jadi mereka berusaha untuk membuat adanya spacing nih, biar Shinoa-nya juga jadi. Dan kita melihat kombinasi Kari ini kan yang paling penting sebenarnya. Yang selalu kita mention biasanya Kale itu cocoknya sama yang bisa ngeburst. Dan karena mid-nya sudah ngambil ke Cetian, ya mereka ngambil Kari, dan Kari adalah hero scaling. Dan pada akhirnya waktu mereka memang bisa bertahan di tengah tadi, mereka nggak terlalu memaksakan juga buat adanya team fight. Dan bahkan mereka punya banyak crowd control, dan itu yang membuat mereka bisa nge-drag gamenya dan membuat Shinoa kaya. Shinoa punya kesempatan untuk join team fight-nya. Dan memang ya dia bakal nge-meltdown siapapun yang terangkat dengan Tsunami Slam.
Itu yang sebenarnya menjadi titik vokal poin lah. Karena Shinoa sebenarnya early udah ke pick off. Udah mati sekali dia. Jadi mungkin di pikirannya si FU itu udah udah mati sekali, yuk kita cari agenda lain. Ternyata malah Shinoa-nya tetap bisa bounce back. Nah, itu yang menurut aku kenapa Shinoa ini tetap bahaya. Dia meskipun kena pressure di early, entah kenapa dia cepat recovernya.
Ya, dan jangan lupa juga kan sebenarnya masih ada Cetian juga nih. Ini untuk bisa open vision buat mereka kalau untuk berjaga-jaga. Apakah lawannya nanti akan set up Atau mereka cuma main tarik ulur aja?
Ya ini yang menarik gimana Sinoa selalu bisa punya decision making yang cukup baik. Dimana kita ngelihat early game yang bisa dibilang turtle pertama itu lumayan krusial juga. Turtle memang mungkin bisa dibilang kita ngelihat Navi mereka fokus banget untuk ngedapetin turtle tanpa Sinoa gabung. Sedangkan CFU mereka totalitas tapi masih gagal. Tapi mereka ngedapetin first blood. Jadi pertukarannya kayaknya kurang begitu menguntungkan untuk CFU di awalnya. Karena Sinoa juga nge-push terus ke bawah, dia nggak join the party.
Ya, karena mereka pede sih, karena banyak hero yang tebal kan, dan 4 yang join team fight-nya nih sebenarnya ada hero-hero yang tebal. Tanpa adanya kemungkinan juga untuk bisa melakukan pick off sebenarnya. Karena pick off-nya nanti bakal rame kalau Sinoa sudah mulai join team fight.
Itu dia.
Ya, dari emblem setnya juga ternyata Sinoa menggunakan emblem ini ya, Marksman. Emblem Marksman, jadi memang mengincar full attack speed dan juga swift yang dipakai. Full attack speed.
Mainin pasifnya berasa banget, terutama true damage-nya. Dan itu yang membuat Igril juga mid game late game semakin mati gaya. Kelihatan dikit akan dicicil dan di dalam tanda kutip burst ya DPS-nya true damage dari Sinoa. Sebenarnya Tegami udah oke loh padahal ya SS-nya untuk mungkin 6 menit pertama, 7 menit pertama.
Iya tapi Sinoa tajir banget sih, farming pattern-nya dia dari gerakan dan decision making itu yang mungkin membuat dia benar-benar goldnya ngegulung banget dan meninggalkan Yuyui jauh.
Ya, bicara soal Yuyu juga ada satu decision yang menurutku cukup ini ya, resiko besar diambil dengan dia tadi. Dia pemain yang orang kedua pokoknya langsung terpick up. Jadi gak ada lagi damager untuk CFU game, hanya mengandalkan si Tegami. Dan Tegami sendiri tanpa adanya Mountain Shocker kan lumayan berat ya buat dia bisa masuk juga untuk ngebuang.
Tapi lihat Amore dengan Zetiania dia bermain dengan sangat epic damage dealt-nya paling besar.
Kecil ya, memang dia kecil ya kan. Kayak ya udah biasa aja dijibitin kecil-kecil gitu. Tapi sering, multiple gitu loh.
Terus-terusan.
Terus ada efek knockback-nya. Terus juga masih bisa open vision. Dan bahkan untuk mengurangi dari magic defense lawan. Ya banyak crowd control-nya. Sini yang paling penting. Karena 4 yang dipakai crowd control semua. Kalea. Terus juga Arlot, terus juga tadi dia Chutien, Fredrin. Ya 4-nya ini udah main crowd control sehingga membuat nanti Sinoa-nya aman waktu dia join. Yang penting ada spesial lah buat Sinoa.
Itu dia, itu yang sebenarnya kita juga udah sentuh pas di draft ini. Oke, memang ada Tigreal, tapi dengan adanya Tigreal melawan komposisi ini, mainnya nggak bisa cukup, mainnya lebih ke arah reaktif Bude. Jadi dia cuman nahan siapa yang mau masuk dan implosionnya bukan lebih ke arah set, jadi lebih ke arah reaktif yang membuat menurut aku Tigrealnya kurang bisa maksimal lah dipakai Tigrealnya.
Atau mungkin Tigrealnya sendiri dia open, dia udah bagus, implosion udah pas semuanya. Satu yang pasti, tidak ada follow up di belakang.
Damage-nya kurang.
Iya. Semuanya seperti tidak satu suara, mencoba untuk membuka tapi ketika tidak ada yang menutup itu akan menjadi sia-sia. Dan game pertama sangat menarik ketika mereka sebenarnya sudah hampir menyentuh kepada base di atas. Mereka berhasil menjebol dan menghancurkan turret 1, 2. Cukup intens sebenarnya dari keduanya. Point kill juga nggak begitu jauh. Berarti bisa dibilang ini memang dari kedua tim ini ketat.
Sebenarnya ketat, cuman ya decision aja sih. Satu decision, yang kedua memang ya tim fight-nya itu jauh lebih rapi tadi kalau kita lihat dari Navi PH. Kayak mereka rapi semuanya, mereka sangat terkonsep satu sama lain.
Dan yang aku ngeliat ya ini kalau
dari Yui dan Sinoa
beda. Sinoa itu kadang-kadang dia belum join, itu pemain dari CFU udah ada yang mati 1, udah ada yang mati 2. Padahal Sinoa-nya belum join loh. Dan itu yang berarti kedisiplinan sih menurut aku, komitnya. Sinoa-nya mungkin masih clearing, dia nggak perlu ngapa-ngapain, join udah mati 2 orang.
Ya, sebenarnya kalau kita lihat sebenarnya yang membedakan juga dari statistiknya itu team fight participation. Sinoa jauh lebih stay di lane-nya dia aja, jarang buat join team fight.
Fokus farming aja.
Iya benar.
Makanya dia jadi tajir banget.
Karena teman-temannya udah cukup, berempat udah cukup Om, dia nggak perlu connect sebenarnya. Jadi dia bisa tetap stay di lane.
Tapi apakah itu bisa dilakukan juga oleh Yui?
Kayaknya butuh damage juga sih, butuh damage tambahan kan. Kayak Yui juga bukan yang typically bisa nge-burst. Jadi dia harus join buat team fight-nya.
Sino fokus aja di bawah, push terus sampai turret hancur.
Jalan, dorong semuanya, jarang buat join team fight. Dan mayoritas memang dipegang dengan CFU ya, kalau secara kuantitas.
Ini turtle pertama, yang turret turtle-nya masih bisa didapetin. Sinoanya nge-push bawah. Memang CFU ngedapetin first blood,
Ya,
tapi pertukarannya kayaknya kurang ya.
Karena yang di bawah dia dapatkan Shinoa bebas. Siap,
Turun.
benar-benar kosong semuanya. Sedangkan tadi ya si Yuyunya lagi join nih, di turtle-nya juga ikut. Memang dapetin point kill, yes. Tapi untuk plating goldnya, untuk wave minionnya dia agak kelewat 1.
Ya, 1 dan itu sangat berharga pastinya. Apalagi untuk gold lane. Tapi di sisi lain kita melihat bahwa dari tim Filipina memang terkenal dengan macro play. Kita melihat bagaimana dari segi point kill nggak begitu jauh. Bahkan mereka sempat benar-benar unda-undi banget. Tapi dari pergerakan mereka, decision makingnya begitu matang. Tahun ini kayaknya mereka juga datang dengan persiapan yang benar-benar cukup luas.
Untuk game yang pertama cukup meyakinkan sih, karena mereka cukup tenang. Ingat, early game Kari udah di take down. Itu sebenarnya agenda dari CFU udah berjalan. Cuman kita kelar game, hatinya tetap cuma 1. Berarti Shinoa setelah di take down di early, dia udah gak mati sama sekali. Dia tahu cara bounce back, tahu gimana cara recover. Dan itu yang menurut aku harus dipelajarin oleh gold lane lain juga.
Apakah draft dari CFU nggak nyaman untuk mereka?
Oke guys, assalamualaikum, let's go.
Atau gimana
Sambung
sih?
kita.
Sebenarnya cukup nyaman ya, cuman yang dibawakan dengan Navi.
Yang udah apa?
Mereka bawa jawaban juga. Jadi mereka siap nih untuk berhadapan dengan Hisham yang kita tahu farmingnya kuat, damage-nya juga ada. Dilawan dengan hero-hero yang punya crowd control dan juga bisa mengantisipasi efek-efek tabrakan dari Hisham itu sendiri.
Berarti second pick benar-benar mereka maksimalkan. Mereka menjawab semua yang ditawarkan di game yang pertama, karena kita lihat dari second pick mereka punya opsi untuk menjawab. Dan ini ternyata mereka bukan fokus kepada gameplay mereka, tapi udah jawab aja apa yang dikasih di pick-pickan sebelumnya.
Dan mereka, dan mereka juga menggunakan hero yang lagi masuk ke meta sekarang kan. Kayak Arlot nih. Arlot sudah mulai sering muncul. Karena ya memang cepat dengan Vengeance yang dipakai dari Arlot. Nambahin movement speednya dia, final slash-nya juga cooldown time-nya yang cepat. Nah ini dikombinasikan dengan hero-hero yang bisa punya crowd control seperti Fredrin. Jadi kalau sampai ada yang tertarik dengan Fredrin, Vengeance-nya aktif lagi.
Langsung ya?
Ya, ada yang kena kegeser dikit, aktif lagi Vengeance-nya dia. Bisa nge-spam akhirnya buat skill.
Ya, crowd control itu bisa lah ngematin pergerakan dari Yisun Shin yang bisa dibilang cukup lincah. Nah, pertanyaannya, tambahannya menurut aku variabel positioning dari Yuyui. Tadi yang menurut aku perlu diasah lagi, perlu diperhatikan lagi. Tadi Om Awa sempat mention emang mati kedua terus. Di grillnya di take down, Yusul-nya kena. Nyusul. Jadi itu again entah kenapa, entah miskomunikasi, misposisi,
atau
terlalu gampang ke take down.
Navinya yang mereka pandai untuk mencari Yuyo ya?
Kemungkinan bisa, tapi kalau kita melihat range-nya hero mereka sendiri sih, harusnya sih Yuyo yang memang ada di depan.
Jadi positioning dari Yuyo yang memang sudah agak off.
Bener,
Game pertama.
Karena hero-heronya juga kan hero-hero kayak melee kan, Fredrin deket, Arlot deket, semuanya deket-deket. Nah itu yang membuat kayaknya Yuyo kok bisa ke pick off gitu loh. Apalagi Bruno kita tahu range-nya jauh, bawa Melvigan juga. Dia sudah punya range tambahan.
Tapi siapa sih player yang benar-benar ngimpact bikin tim dari Philippines, Navi mendapatkan game pertama mereka? Siapa coba?
Kalau
ada beberapa sih kalau aku.
Oh, beberapa?
Udah Shinoa. Udah mid game karena late game udah Shinoa. Untuk yang menahan-menahan menurut aku Fredrin. Fredrin itu sangat-sangat play a huge role. Metro objektif oke sempat kalah, tapi seenggaknya dia ngebuka, ngenahan, tontonnya dia banyak create chances yang tadi aku bilang Shinoa nggak usah join, 4 lawan 5 pun itu fight bisa dimenangkan oleh dari sisi Navi PH yang membuat Shinoa oke gue bisa bebas farming aja.
Well, dan memang kita sudah melihat bahwa di game yang pertama, kalau dari segi draft kalian tadi suka sama yang mana ya?
Aku yang kiri tadi sih tadi.
Jom last nobar kita guys.
Dari draft udah enak banget.
Last nobar, lepas tu aku nak buat mabar.
Mereka biar bisa melanjutkan ke game yang
lepas tu aku nak mabar.
Kedua sudah di depan.
Last game kan, sebab game ni best kan. Sebab game ni best, kita tengok dulu.
Tapi dari CFU mereka ketertinggalan nih.
Sebab game ni best, kita tengok last game lah.
Bandnya ternyata berbeda. Napi kali
tengok tim VP pula Cam, best gak? Asal tim tu pun menang ke tadi? Tadi kalah kan? First game, nangis guys. Tim Virtus Pro tu kalah first game menangis.
Hero yang selalu di-ban dari match awal.
Kenapa dia ada ni ke?
Terlepas dan prio pick banget memang untuk 1-1. Ingat ini adalah marksman yang bisa ya. Yang bisa melindungi diri sendiri dengan Needles in Flower.
Aduh, aku tak dapat tengok tu yang tu.
Then learn from Bigatron.
Asal semua live yang ni tu.
Sorry, Miracle.
Dan itu memang semahal
itu. Itu si the group A.
Bisa dibilang.
Iya, dan Dengan one yang terlepas, langsung di pick aja, strong aja. Ini marksman yang lagi mahal banget, prio pick sudah di tangan. Tapi jawaban, Navi lagi-lagi ngedapetin second pick. Apakah mereka akan berfokus kayak tadi dengan reaktif aja?
Ini stream berapa ya?
Bisa jadi sih, kayak kalau mereka mau main reaktif pun mereka harus melihat apakah one-one-nya di sini bisa jadi. Karena untuk membuka tank jungler ketemu dengan one-one, ini sebenarnya agak repot. Dan mereka melepaskan one-one berarti otomatis mereka ada niat untuk menggunakan hero-hero assassin. Mungkin Hayabusa yang masih ada, ini Hayabusa dan Xorn masih ada juga. Tapi ya Arlot, pertimbangan yang menarik untuk Navi adalah Arlot selalu mereka pergunakan. Berarti mereka ya prio banget untuk mereka yang mereka melihat
Vitus Pro menang ya tadi.
Bisa menang.
Ada 2 orang nangis loh guys.
Power banget.
Flex
tapi
juga kan.
match 1 juga Arlot ya?
Dia menang ya tadi Jaja.
Dan emang
aku rasa dia menang.
Prioritas karena
CFU dari negara mana? CFU dari negara Kamboja.
Ngurus ngerecokin formasi musuh juga iya. Dan
Ayo oke Nena.
Setian dan juga Gatot Kaca.
Ayo oke.
Masih masuk ya. Ini kalau di scene ladies check-nya banyak banget nih. Keluar tersusun juga dan kembali hadir ya untuk
More, tengok.
Dan kalau mau ngebuka assassin sebenarnya sekarang waktunya. Hayabusa ini menurutku sangat tepat untuk Navi kalau mereka mau pergunakan atau bahkan dengan slot juga.
Mana?
Sisanya mereka tinggal ban nih buat assassin-assassinnya.
Oh no.
Retail ya.
Melawan.
Jom cek apa mana?
Retail secara head to head di
tim yang nangis tadi dari tim Vietnam.
Mana? Navi Philippines mereka sadar, mereka tahu lah caranya.
Ya Force of the Queen ya. Kayak nggak perlu diarahin juga dari retailnya. Bisa ada efek slow buat one-one, bisa juga langsung dikejar nanti.
Jadi kalau dari segi landing phase, retail akan lebih nyaman di laning.
Yes, landing phase.
Landing phase. Tapi kalau dari segi war?
Kalau dari warnya biasanya kalau one-one-nya pinter buat nyari weakness point, wah itu one-one sih.
Terbang,
dia kalau sudah terbang kan udah males ya orang-orang pasrah. Antara pasrah atau kalau kita lagi menang jawab bisa lawan pakai Winter Crown.
Nah itu sih aku pengen masuk. Sebenarnya untuk hero-hero yang di depan yang gampang ke-trigger dalam tanda kutip mungkin bisa Winter Crown item kedua atau item ketiga ya. Menurut aku worth it banget. Makan aja pas dia terbang udah Winter Crown karena setelah itu udah lawannya turun dan itu akan vulnerable sekali.
Dan sudah resource-nya juga dia hanya bisa kabur, lompat-lompat dan mundur. Tapi kalau ngeliat Akai menjadi band juga, ini memang kayaknya Akai juga lagi rame ya.
Sebenarnya enggak sih kalau buat Akai ya. Mungkin untuk jawaban saja nih untuk Akai. Ya antisipasi kalau mereka ada hero-hero yang bisa kejepit misalnya di dinding mudah Assassin. Mau pakai Fanny kan misalnya buat CFU. Karena kan Fanny biasanya ini paling gampang nih ya buat dilawan dengan Akai. Bukan gampang ya, lebih ke bisa di cancel steel cable-nya.
Dari skill satunya yang
tapi jarang banget kita ngeliat ada Fanny yang sudah mulai dipakai. Habis patch yang terakhir. Nah ini nih, sebenarnya lebih ke EXP lapu-lapu misal. Terus siapa lagi yang tebal-tebal glue sebenarnya masih oke juga buat dipakai. Dan no kali ya.
Mereka kepengen semuanya bisa bebas. Dan kalau Navi dengan band-bandan seperti ini dengan 3 pick yang ada di depan, apa sih yang mereka ingin capai?
Oke, kita tengok draft guys. Matilda, Kimi, Farsha. Kali dia ban Baxia guys.
Mungkin mereka bisa
Chan Shibu kena ban juga. Respect ke?
Bisa ada crowd control tapi di EXP bukan di jungle. Karena jungle menurut
Kimi Farsha ada ban
untuk menghindar dari one-one.
Yang kuat berarti.
Yang punya efek dash yang menjauh kan dari middle dari apa tuh?
Pokoknya dia
dari crossbow tank.
Harus kabur.
Ya, Lancelot.
Yang bisa kabur.
Ya, Lancelot yang langsung lompat ke belakang lah intinya. Kita butuh nih. Hayabusanya di ban masih Fredrin.
Ini lebih untuk yang udah tebelin aja, tahan aja.
Berarti sama konsepnya dengan game
pertama.
Bukan
cek ada stream.
Ya, mereka masih dengan pilihan-pilihan yang sebenarnya nggak terlalu berbeda ya dengan gameplay yang berbeda. Tapi gimana ngelihat dengan adanya Fredrin yang dipakai kembali nih jadi pilihan?
Ini cukup berani sih, ini kayak
masalahnya di stream tuh semua nih.
Gue nggak takut, gue pakai Fredrin tetap dan again ini menurut aku karena ini hero yang bisa di trigger crossbow of tank-nya.
Ito ang CFU Gaming, they're still locking on for their jungle. Ano ba yung sasabay pa nila dito? Pwede pa tayo makita actually ng CC for the extra damage. Pero mas okay yata if mas makita tayo dito ng unat pa if they will use Tegami as an assassin.
That can be.
Oh, diba? Parang napakasakit. But, kung may dash coming in from Navi with that final slash, meron din naman sa kabila, which is the Lancelot naman. So, parang magiging labanan ng dash itong dalawang heroes na to. Kasi, sometimes that is like yung weak point or yung...
Untuk sekarang siapa lagi laju? Indonesia ke? Loh? Pak 04? Sekejap aku tengah tengok siapa stream paling laju.
Slot.
Okay.
Jadi sebenarnya ini bener-bener
17, 16.
Lumayan menantang. Untuk komposisi aku juga lebih ke arah
11. Oh, ni lambat guys. Kita ambil Indo guys. Since Indo laju kan. Kita ambil Indo punya.
Halo Bude Monster.
Gimana pendapat kalian?
Yes, kalau pendapat kita CFU draftnya benar-benar bagus. Benar-benar sangat kuat.
Last game ni. Rasanya Navi Emote dah menang ni. Habis ni kita buat mabar guys sekejap lagi.
Cukup tinggi Navi Philippines kayaknya masih bisa
aku nak buat mabar ke aku nak jual baju
Kalau yang berbicara lah ya bisa dibilang.
Ada ke orang nak beli baju aku?
Langsung aja kita mulai ya.
15 hari bulan, tengah bulan ni.
Kita ambil sejarah kayak Bude Monster. Karena tentunya kita langsung aja ke MWI Esports World Cup.
Give me 3.
Pembuktian nih, akankah ada drama 1 sama atau bersih 2-0? Gue setuju sih dengan kata-kata gue tadi. Menantang, sangat menantang bahkan. Tapi ya eksekusi, mechanical, makro itu yang berbicara kan ketika udah masuk ke dalam lane of down.
Alright, ini dia. Kita bakal menyaksikan di mana
Navi MWI kena menang lagi sekali Cam. Lepas tu lepas play off. Oh, jadi lawan siapa?
Kontradiktif
besok pula
kalau gue bisa bilang dari ngomongin hero mereka berdua. Lancelot head to head dengan Fredin agak cukup sulit. Dan bahkan kalau bisa kita bilang Navi Philippines ketika pick mereka terhadap Angela, itu gue suka banget tim.
Why?
Di situ dong gue suka. Kenapa? Karena gue suka banget gimana
tak tahu orang lawan bila. Oh, faham.
Bahkan nanti
ni aku punya last stream guys. Lepas tu kita tengok
berarti
nanti aku nak tengok aku nak live mabar ke aku nak jual baju je.
Main sama KC dulu. Tapi kalau kita lihat dari emblem, wah ini
malas pula jual baju.
Angelanya. Itemnya akan lebih cepat jadi. Ya Asromer juga pasti dia nggak punya gold yang banyak. Tapi kalau misalkan nanti seandainya ada assist mungkin
lawan TLPH
dari Navi PH
mak ai
itu lagi lebih ngedukung lagi
sedap
nih.
Tu game sedap tu Navi lawan tu
together. Nah ini emblem yang menambah movement speed juga sebenarnya ya, bagus banget nanti bisa nge-trigger movement speed tambahan nanti buat siapapun temennya. Dari emblem gua rasa masih fine dari keduanya, masih oke aja. Mungkin balik lagi Lancelot walaupun emblemnya assassin biasanya build-nya itu ke arah hybrid. Jadi kayak War X mungkin ke Brute Force abis War X atau kayak War X Endless dulu baru ke Brute Force dan Queen Swing rata-rata ya itu itemnya.
Itu tergantung juga apakah CFU akan lebih berani lagi, akan dia main ke War X dan juga Hunter Strike, main-main damage di awal.
Kayaknya sekarang rata-rata sih hybrid ya. Kalau pede banget mungkin bisa, kalau pede banget tergantung nanti situasi seperti apa.
Iya. Oke, balik lagi dengan turtle yang sudah di pop up oleh Mobile Legends Bang Bang di arah top lane. Turtle yang pertama mereka tidak akan mereka lepaskan dengan assassin Tegami bisa melakukan take over dengan turtle, tapi lihat nanti Xorn dengan flicker bersama dengan Avatar dia berhasil men-take over. Kenapa tidak? Retribution sangat baik dari Casey.
Selamat.
Langsung diselamatkan, bahkan dilindungi oleh dengan adanya hardcut dari Angela. Dengan seluruh wombo combo combro dari tim Navi Philippines.
Angela
semua gagal.
Angela Fredrin.
Semua combo masuk Mushi.
Wow.
Dan bahkan dengan adanya itu
pecah nih, tek nih.
totalitas yang mereka miliki semuanya masuk, tapi lihat.
Woi, pancingan. Shinoa jago doh.
Tidak berhasil pecah.
Serius ah.
Serius ini Yui dia nggak mati attack assist. One nggak mati attack assist dan itu bahaya banget
Shinoa guys, Shinoa pancingan doh.
Ya, attack assistnya masih on tadi.
Pancingan by one di situ.
Ngomongin soal Fredrin dari KC tadi
detail one-one-nya.
Ya, itu menjadi satu keuntungan yang
saya pakai.
Turtle-nya mereka dapetin, belum lagi dengan
Arya macam Xorn. Tak, Arya ada tukar role lah guys.
Selama itu selamatin nggak napa-napa
sekarang
sih.
Alia pakai ini lah guys.
Tadi sih lebih ke arah Tegami.
EXP
Dia
lane.
mengeksekusi retribution dengan sangat baik.
Yui.
Karena semua kombonya masuk tim.
Benar.
Dan dia main
baik.
juga untuk targetnya malah ke orang. saran gue dengan adanya take over tadi yang pertama, lebih baik menuju ke arah turtle-nya. Karena ini akan mendapatkan keuntungan ketika merahnya masih di stay on level 3.
Targetnya berarti ya?
Targetnya beda, karena kalau merah masih stay on di level 3, itu first bolt di tangan CFU.
Iya, kalau dapetin turtle-nya
Tapi kalau turtle, langsung level 4, kasusnya langsung berbeda.
Iya, apalagi jungle tank. Kita tahu jungle tank kan, yang powernya kuat banget di awal. Tapi agak susah kalau ngelihat dari Freddy nih, Ki. Memang retributionnya juga enak banget. Emang bisa inilah
Bisa ditarik ya?
bisa ditarik gitu kan.
Bisa naik.
Karena mereka punya badannya sendiri kan. Walaupun gua tahu Lancelot juga.
Combo.
Final Slays dengan 2 combo yang bakal dikombinasikan di belakang sana.
Freddy ini tak mati.
Permasukan dari tim
Guys.
Philippines. Oh, selamat. Mereka
Freddy dan Angela kebal macam batu doh.
Porak-poranda, tapi sayang sekali dengan damage
Mati
dari
Gatot
Mosi
nih.
dan betapa
Tak ada
kuatnya
flicker, tak ada
Mosi
ulti
di
pula tu.
laning membuat Mosi masih struggle dan hidup. Bahkan ada press forward dari Casey yang sudah
Dah
tidak
susah
ada
dah
bisa
ni.
menutup jalan dari UE. Terlalu banyak.
Dah susah ke Zod, dah susah.
Keluar di saat mereka harus turtle.
Iya, mereka harus reset dulu sih. Mungkin recall jadi salah satu solusi yang tepat karena kalau ngelihat dari Tegami, Hunter Strike
Masih ada Crimson Bacon.
Sepertinya agak beda nih Lancelotnya.
Bakal coba di Hunter. Dan ini dia Crimson Bacon akan menghindari damage dari Tegami dan itu dia Lim. Crimson Bacon berhasil melakukan sedikit choke. Membuat para pasukan dari tim Navi Philippines berhasil membuying time. Seperti yang sudah kita prediksi, kalau dimaksakan, kalau terus terpaksa menuju ke arah orang Tegami, akhirnya dia akan sulitan tersendirinya.
Tapi dia harus orang sih. Hunter Strike first item.
Ya.
Dia punya penetrasi, dia punya segalanya di awal.
Tapi nggak dalam kondisi dalam under seperti ini. Langsung penalti zone dikeluarkan. Dengan ada Casey dirasuki. Permasukan dari tim Navi Philippines. Mereka akhirnya terkena 1 buah poin kill yang sangat mahal. Akibat target
trapping. Sementara, lihat dari gold difference, ini hanya dari Iritel aja yang unggul. Dan unggulnya pun nggak banyak. Sebenarnya CFU Gaming dan Navi PH ini ada di kondisi yang mirip, kondisi yang sama. Tapi lihat Mosi kejepit dari bagian belakang.
Mosi di situ mendapatkan seorang Mirai. Oh, nice sekali. Oh, cantik Tegami. Ada iri tu Tegami. Aduh, miss ke first kill kau. Pecah.
terakhir berhasil terbang. Terbagi menjadi 2, membuat pasukan
terbaik daripada ladang. Game ni fight guys. Nampak tak? Ini guys, calon juara untuk EWC Navi Philippines.
Bukan ngeliat dari
kalau korang nak tahu prediction semua orang, Navi Philippines masih lagi akan champion Ramai orang predict. Diorang ni adalah tim yang champion last season guys. Navi Philippines.
Lagi-lagi kita tahu ya dari
kemungkinan final Navi lawan Navi. Navi MWI lawan Navi Philippines.
Executionnya sakit. Ditambah kalau ngelihat dari defensifnya Navi PH nih, kayak tadi nggak berjalan dengan baik. Nggak ada combo hard guard yang memang bisa ngacak-ngacak semuanya.
Oke.
Apa udah mulai saatnya nih hard guardnya ke Sinoa aja?
Yes.
Baru 2
mungkin
item tadi.
Tapi kita lihat dia bisa maksimal datang. Tapi kalau ngelihat ke arah Sino yang sedikit terlambat menuju ke arah Turtle, ini mungkin kehilangan Turtle akan
Indo kuat Zon. Indo tu lah yang kalah dengan dorang kan. Navi ni.
Ada garis depan. Casey langsung
baik. Zoning Freddy dia.
Tidak bisa dipukul sama sekali karena tidak ada yang bisa dilepaskan dari kontrol yang mereka miliki. Dan akhirnya mereka akan ikhlaskan Turtle selanjutnya.
Ada ke?
Nggak ada korban sih. Belum lagi bawahnya juga kedorong nih. Angela dari Merai, dia akan coba untuk pegang lane jauh.
Nanti wait.
Sebentar Mit, bakal dobrak.
Makan dulu nanti. Nanti papa bagi.
Wow, mereka agak sedikit terlalu terburu-buru ya dengan keuntungan yang
Indo tu yang kalah dengan dorang ni. Navi Philippines ni.
Flicker for defensive mau tidak mau dikeluarkan. Kalau misal tidak dikeluarkan, Amor yang akan menjadi poin
tangan awak melekit ni nah.
untuk mid lane mereka.
Dia nggak ada Crimson Bacon.
Apa tak nak?
Disayangkan juga dan sekarang goldnya unggul, tapi nggak jauh lagi.
Freddy tak sesuai lawan Lancelot ke?
Mereka seakan-akan pegang temponya, mereka pegang kendali game.
Kalau in terms of farming kan, menang Lancelot lah.
Dari segi ekonomi,
tapi Freddy boleh je bagi aku lawan Lancelot guys. Boleh je.
Yes, Moshi. Target utama
matchupnya okey je. Angela Eritel. Tegami. Tegami. Macam mati je. Angela Eritel dah jadi weh. Masalahnya tak boleh, tak ada siapa boleh handle tu Tegami. Angela Eritel macam pakai ni guys. Pakai
penalti zone-nya yang sangat maksimal tadi.
Pakai sprint. Sentiasa pakai sprint.
Udah saatnya nih Sinoa bersama dengan Angela yang itu udah jadi
Baik
dominasi
dong
yang hyper carry banget.
Angela
Pak.
retailing.
Targetnya bagus banget, Fa.
Macam tu je. Makan backline. Tapi Zishin boleh buat apa Zetian? Zetian boleh buat apa? Tak boleh buat apa Syam.
Dari sini tahu nih kalau misalkan dia ada jarak sedikit,
Let them cook.
itu akan maksimal damage.
Angela kacau, kacau. Alot meta.
Lagi Retail juga sama kayak
Nanti korang tengok lah lelaki main nanti. Hari tu wildcard tak ramai tau orang pick Alot. Nanti korang tengok.
Tapi bagus banget
Alot ni jadi barang panas dekat dekat group stage nanti. Korang percaya je kat aku. Alot akan jadi barang panas. Semua orang akan pakai.
Ya, dan GDS akan menjadi sebuah jawaban nanti lagi untuk tim CFU Gaming. Harus berhati-hati.
Kalau mau di skip bisa ke Malfit Gun, tapi Lord.
Oke, lihat di depan sana para pasukan dari tim Navi Philippines mencoba untuk menangkap Yuyui, di mana Yuyui berada di defense class Fanatic Retribution yang on point berhasil membuat para pasukan dari tim Navi Philippines memporak-porandakan para pasukan dari tim CFU, bahkan mereka tidak memiliki 1-1 di depan sana. Sinoa menghindari Phantom Execution membuat dirinya selamat. Bang fleeting time di tangan dari Mere membuat para pasukan dari tim Navi Philippines akan punya jalan kedua dan Flicker objektif menuju ke arah Tegami menandakan UE the one last man standing.
Wow, ini dia Lord yang berhasil dicuri tadi. Wih, tertangkap tapi nggak ada damage sih harusnya. Solo kill kah? Solo kill Israel. Ya, itu dia.
Mau lagi.
Yang
cakap dengan Mama. Mana more?
Tadi bikin nggak ada
Mama ada. Mama ada 2. Dah mati dah. Kenapa guys?
Ini nggak boleh keluar. Kalau dia keluar sekalipun Sinoa.
Alat atau lapu mana panas lagi Syam?
Hard guard karena fleeting time.
Kalau aku lapu.
Kita lihat dulu nih dari Lord.
Tapi Alot ni boleh flex guys.
Karena lihat dipegang habis
Slotnya
plus dengan retribution yang pas juga tadi. Yui tumbang duluan. Itulah problem pertama kenapa si
Macam mana guys, korang bagi tahu macam mana nak hentikan keganasan Navi Filipin ni. Korang main dah macam ni tau, lelaki tau guys. Aku beritahu korang lah. Serius. Navi Filipin punya gameplay dah macam lelaki Silap-silap hantar lelaki boleh terciduk ni.
Terlalu besar Lim, lihat gak?
Itu
membuat sosok dari seorang UE itu langsung mundur ke arah belakang.
Itu dia masalah.
Vitality paling kuat MWI. Oh, untuk MWI diorang paling kuat
Not Ayah Nami bisa menangkap karakter kami.
Tapi diorang kalah hari tu. Apa yang diorang kuatnya? Mana boleh cakap macam tu? Uish, Alot tu weh. Sing. Lancelot ke? Alot dia.
And looking for Wipeout, the one last man standing. Ini bencana.
Nice one.
Masuk dari banyak sekali arah dan di arah mid lane akan di follow.
Oh my god. Mereka akan fokus menuju ke arah base turret. Mereka akan
Fireman Aldi from Moshi. Bye-bye. Langsung end tu.
Membangga para pasukan dari tim CFU Gaming dengan 2-0 tanpa balas.
Nice game guys.
Satu buah kesalahan fatal.
Nice game.
Membalikan keadaannya Navi PH. Mereka sadar.
Roger not meta. Roger not meta.
Mungkin di awal
Roger biasa je Emery.
Adalah tujuan dari mereka kuasai
tak rasa Roger sekuat yang korang jangkakan.
Tapi ketika
yang kuat bagi aku ni tu Hisham Shin tu.
Mereka berubah konsepnya, mereka bermain bersama
Hisham
dengan
Shin
Sinoa
makai.
di 2 item saja.
Nice game. Navi Filipin menang.
Ternyata belum lagi dengan Tegami yang
Terizla meta lain macam. Terizla tak meta.
Dia masuk lagi dengan
siapa lagi ada?
Dengan under kondisi yang dia miliki. Wah, itu nggak wise decision sih jujur.
Itu gue maksud. Kenapa Lancelot sekarang banyak yang hybrid? Pertama, War X itu ada darah. Hunter Strike ya, mungkin kalau misalkan kita berbandingkan penetrasi dan juga damage-nya itu akan lebih unggul jauh mungkin. Tapi kalau stacknya full, War X stack full itu tetap akan sakit. Next item Brute Force juga defensive item. Belum lagi Endless Battle, ada darahnya lagi. Itu yang dimaksud kenapa Lancelot sekarang bikinnya hybrid. Mungkin main gameplay kayak tadi, kayak Tegamin tadi. Dengan 3 item yang gue bilang itu cocok karena dia tadi maju lagi kepegang dan
Uranus meta guys. Uranus pun barang panas. Okay, untuk EXP EXP kalau korang tanya aku apa yang panas
Tapi masalahnya
first Uranus,
pertama Hunter Strike,
kedua lapu-lapu, ketiga Alot. Tapi aku akan letak 2 ni Alot lah, since orang akan banyak pick Alot guys berbanding lapu dulu dalam draft pick. Sebab sangat fleksibel guys. Alot boleh letak dekat roam, Alot masih lagi boleh pergi EXP. So macam unpredictable lah. Ketiga boleh jadi Alot lapu lah. So tiga hero ni akan jadi barang panas dekat EWC nanti. MSC. Alot, Uranus sama Lapu-Lapu. Ini kenapa orang pick Uranus dengan Alot dulu guys berbanding Lapu lah. Satu, dua-dua hero ni flex guys. Sangat fleksibel. Dua-dua ni boleh unpredictable. Uranus boleh letak jungle. Uranus boleh letak EXP. Tak ke gila tu? Orang pun pening kalau pick Uranus dulu first pick. Macam mana? Tapi takkan first pick lah. So orang masih unpredictable gitu. So next kita ada Shanshin. Shanshin kuat guys. Slow sikit caster. Dah lah guys caster ni. Sampai sini je live aku. Aku nak dekat YT tak ada suara dulu tadi.
You guys won MWI 2024. Now
Aku nak ni guys. YT ada suara tak tadi?
because you guys are not able to replicate.
Tadi aku mute tu.
Any comments about that?
Jatuh. Alah. Kalau jatuh tak ada dah lah Nina.
To say, but except that I just want
Ada
the game
Nina kalau
to
jatuh.
speak for itself.
Apa dah habis dah?
Now there's a lot to prove because you guys made your mark last year. So, you know, what have you guys prepared for this year to potentially claim
ada tu.
back-to-back win?
Dekat YT ada suara ke?
I think what we did last year, I think we're just doing anything we can right now. What we did, and we have less to no
Oh, baru jadi double. So maknanya aku tutup selama ni.
I think it's still the same
Kat
mindset.
situ. Faham.
Fantastic. And you guys have
Glue.
the exact
Glue,
same
Hisham.
roster. So,
Glue bagi
you
aku
know,
tak.
is it more data for all
Tak pun,
the
guys.
girls out there, especially those who are making a debut to
Alot
prepare
naik,
for
Cici
things
pun naik kan Syam? Ya betul.
you guys have in your
So orang akan pakai Cici guys untuk counter hero-hero gitu.
on the battlefield?
Yes,
Okay, so aku nak live mabar lah guys. Aku live mabar dulu lah.
Stage for a long time, and
EWC ni sekejap lagi game apa?
I think that's for you to find
Tak
out.
tahu lah game apa. Tapi aku tak nak tengok dah lah. Besok pula aku nak live mabar dah pukul 8.
We'll see. Because
Okay, nanti aku restream tau. Terima kasih guys yang dah join. Kita sambung balik. Bye semua.
And finally, because you guys
Tengok balik live aku tau nanti. Aku nak rehat jap. Take 5 lepas tu maybe dah pukul 9 ataupun lebih awal aku akan live mabar. Okay, jom. Bye-bye semua.
Guys, supportahan nyo pa rin kami po sa